So I just thought I would interrupt that before you kept going.
Yeah, no, I was stretching out an analogy.
So,
yeah.
we're up to session number... Oh, wrong game. Would help if I was actually pointing to the right game.
Which game are you pointing to?
Sorry,
just curiosity.
Shadowrun.
Sorry.
Session number 38.
It's not a lot different, really.
Session number 38, and we're up to video 401.
Woo! 401! I'd have poppers, but...
Then I might get set alight by the...
the candles, actually. Yeah, no, that would be a video that would get you more views. We did the poppers, it got the candles, it went on fire, the place burned down. Fun times.
Would only get views if I could then upload it.
Well, yeah.
There is a slight problem.
There's the catch.
Well, we've all got phones, and there is always the cloud.
There we go. That works. Little live on.
Happy 401st.
Yay!
Would you like a piece of?
So does that mean we're going to run into the 401st?
Quite possibly.
Oh, great.
Are they on?
If you have not already.
Who are the 401st? Does anyone want them to rank up?
I'll take a little bit.
A little bit.
Yep.
So let's see. I did the research, which is always a bad thing for a GM to say.
Did you really
Always scary.
research 401st?
Yep.
Look, all you need to know is that the entirety of the 401st couldn't kill 2 Jedi.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Wow. They did immediately become bad guy stormtroopers.
Well, they actually never made it to Stormtroopers. So the 401st were only a clone trooper legion, and the reason why they never actually made it to Stormtrooper was they never actually killed their Jedi.
So they never got to be on board.
So if we did face them, we'd be fine.
Well, you might have already faced them.
The 401st got absorbed into another stormtrooper legion, and then they started recruiting humans instead of clones.
And most likely retired out the clones as soon as possible. Considering their aging was never slowed down once they hit adulthood. So they aged at twice the rate of a normal person, which meant that they would have a lifespan of 60 years instead of 120, which is the Star Wars human age.
Gotcha.
It does. And then Admiral Thrawn comes up for a way to age someone to adulthood in 40 days.
That's not scary at all.
So you can imagine what would happen if they then don't retard the aging process.
Oh yeah.
So 40 days to reach the equivalent of 20 years. That means they only have so many weeks to live before they age out.
Yeah. That's scary. Living the life of a fly, I guess.
Well, it could be worse. Could be the life of a butterfly. You have one day to live.
Yeah.
When sundown comes down, so do you. Too bad if you woke up at sunset.
Right.
So yes, we are up to session number 38. I have written it up as episode 10, Derilyn Bound, for our 3rd season of the story arc. And the 3rd season being, I believe it is 8 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
Give you some time frame of where it's placed.
Yep.
So each time you jump a year, it jumps a season, so you have some idea of reference of where you're going and what's happening.
Yep.
So, to give us a recap of what happened last session, can Kesley remember if she's got notes? Because she can't use the...
I usually have notes. Do I remember? Oh yeah, should we do...
We can do introductions first.
Okay.
I was just trying to give Arietta more time as she's in the kitchen.
Yep.
I can do recap first, and then we can do introduction.
We'll do the recap first.
So, as a recap, we started on Terrinoth as our new base. We're just like, the vibes are off. I think we need to skedaddle. So we go ahead and work our way slowly towards Mercy, then Korra, then to Coin. On Coin, we contact
Captain Diesel.
Captain Diesel Dom. Dom Diesel? Yeah. And so he gives us coordinates to go to a safe house where we find him and the... Where are they? Foundlings?
Foundlings, yes.
Foundlings? So we find him in the Foundlings. Were there any other family members there? Or?
No, most of the other family members were gone.
Yeah.
A bunch of them were taken on Derilyn.
So that's what we found out, is that most of the elders and the rest of the family had moved on to Derilyn while Dom was, I guess, captaining and teaching the Foundlings. What we have found out is that Sol Guerrera has found out that about Piper's parents being in that prison, and he was hired to break them out of jail, but learning that they are Piper's parents, he didn't give the family up, and is possibly holding them as bait or as a target to draw Piper out.
Or simply as advertising for his cause as he executes them on screen.
Exactly. We also learned some history about Lieutenant Sandino, that he had a run-in early on with Tarkin in his career. Hence why Sandino has been stuck at the level that he's been stuck at, and why him and Tarkin don't necessarily get along. We've learned that our family is kind of on our side about, like, we're not too fond of the Empire, as they keep sending out military units from Coin, made up of both Mandalorian and Coinites, and they just happen to disappear. We're not fans of that. And so the rest of the family, they're on Derilyn because they thought it would be safe there. But then all of a sudden there was that whole huge issue of now Derilyn becoming a prison planet. So we're trying to figure out how to get them out and rescue them. What was there? So we try to come up with a plan. We find Thea's aunt Sarah Bob. We went Sarah Bob, so I just went with Sarah Bob. Sarah Bob. Who we explained the situation to her. She helps us that if we can get Coinite mercenaries to help us out, we could possibly do that. We also talked to Betty to see if we can get any prisoners to apprehend to bring to Derilyn. They point out a rival smuggler family because they are known as slavers. So we need to go in stealth. Our plan is to try to make contact with Twilight mercenaries to get their armor to be covert to apprehend the slavers on Mercy. We get a squad of 20 Twilights, and through that, B1 gets a mysterious a message back from Duri, the XTS pilot. And that's where we ended. It was a cliffhanger. So, anyway, I'll introduce my character. So I am playing Kayana Capeweir, the martial artist of the group / senior sector ranger / now default leader of the group. Didn't start out as leader, ended up being kind of appointed as leader, and has now taken on this responsibility. And she may or may not have a couple of gray hairs at this point.
I just think soon you might be one of the ruling members of the family.
Exactly. Which is pretty impressive coming from my station, because I definitely started off in the lower social ranks of our clan. So, I mean, good for me. Yay, my family would be so proud if they weren't dead.
That's such a Star Wars comment.
Right? So, yeah, no, that's chaotic.
And then we have Mike.
Hello, I am Ebeya, a Jawa with Purple Eyes. I come from the cryptocurrency fields of Alderaan. I have quite a large extended family, including cousins, Bookface, Amazon, Marketplace,
Former.
Tree Gum, Auctions, DOLA, and Online Greys. I'm a expert at gambling, and I'm a mechanic, and
reality TV star.
And a enormous reality TV star. My main series is 15 Seconds of Fame Before You Get Arrested.
Full title.
Shot or killed.
I mean, it's a grey area on how you get arrested. But
Well, once you're dead, they don't need to arrest you anymore.
well, I mean, they can put handcuffs on the coffin. And yeah, working with Ramsey Gordon on a spin-off cooking series.
Ooh.
When they die, we cook them.
Well, I mean, we haven't got to the finer details yet.
What about if you eat this, we might,
Let you go.
yeah, we might, yeah, you can get like
Wait,
those,
no.
or-
You do it.
To eat really horrid things.
Oh, what's the
Cake or death.
There you go.
Your friend or death?
Cake or
Or
death.
death.
You could also just do it like a Top Chef competition, and the winner gets to go free.
Everyone else dies.
They go into the mix.
And yeah,
That's eBay.
that's eBay.
Does Ariadne want to do her introduction from the kitchen or wait until after the others?
I'll wait for after your miners.
Next one up we have is Ross.
Yes, I play Carlid, the now gadgeteer, but also used to be the enforcer in that. So I'm now starting to learn my family skills in armor smithing and working around with mechanical instruments and things like that. So I am taking notes from eBayer, but I'm not taking shortcuts that he likes to do.
It's like this.
They're not exactly short because sometimes they require completely rewiring everything.
And I'm just vertically challenged.
You know you have a mechanical masterpiece of a highly skilled mechanic with you, right?
Are we referring to
Yes, but I don't want to dodge wrenches while I'm learning.
It's different learning
You obviously
styles.
don't want to learn the right way then.
Oh, well,
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball.
Yes.
if you could
Oh,
dodge
there, I
a
thought
wrench,
you were going to say you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a thermal detonator. It's like,
Oh,
person
well.
goes, whoop,
Yep.
whoops.
Yep, Martin said exactly what I was desperately trying to get out while I was trying to unmute myself.
Not looking good, Cotton.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a thermal detonator.
Just doing it for my own coffee. Did you want a hot chocolate since I use the same milk? Sure.
Okay, so that is Khalid, the not infamous yet, but I'm sure he'll get there eventually. Up next is David.
Hello, I am David. I play B1337, a heavily self-modified B1 battle droid, expert medic, and soon to be expert mass murderer, apparently.
Well, you know
if it has anything to do with it.
you've got to start small to be an expert, and luckily you did.
Well, practice makes perfect. Well, I mean, B1's first kill in game was a paraplegic in a wheelchair.
Really starting off easy there, aren't you?
That's what I said.
No.
You started off small, literally.
Well, there was a bounty and it was dead or alive, and alive bounties are so much more difficult to claim.
Yes, you'd have to wheel him somewhere.
It would have been
Yeah, I feel
really
that.
difficult.
Oh my god. That was funny.
In the end, it ended up being a drag.
Oh goodness.
Well, he did put him in a sack and he
Where's
did
the
drag
phone
him.
off this intro already?
See, this is why people watch only the first 6 minutes.
Hey, if they can't stand the puns, they're not going to enjoy this show.
Exactly.
And look, in my defense, really crap jokes was the basis of the start of P1.
I love to clone jokes.
Yes.
Next one up, we
Yeah,
have.
Dr. Tuckers is gone. You take the lead.
Long dead.
I'm sure he might be re-uploaded or just appear in a patch.
I'm sure the Outliers will drag it out.
Absolutely.
And last one, sorry, not last one. Next one up today is Mark.
Meow. Anyway. Well, this is the. I was just thinking about when you said 10 days into this new session, Martin. I was thinking it's more the age of Jed. I'm going to call it. So I play Jed, bounty hunter, friendly person to B1, and soon to be possibly associated with mass murder. So yeah.
Soon to associate with mass murder, or you're just working your way into
the
it.
type you're talking about. I have no idea about Hyper. No idea at all.
Hyper, who's she?
Mark, you might want to check your video. I think you got to set it to D20 Pro instead of ADS at the moment. I'm not sure.
Have I? Let's see. Oh, it looks like it has jumped around on me, so I will fix that.
That's right, just to let you know.
Yeah, it's where the fun of the technology that goes and goes, here, I can fix that for you. And at least the audio channels are working, so I don't have to worry about a muted video like last session.
Yeah.
So I apologise.
Pre-recording now, I thought I was having a really bad day.
Yep.
Well, I just went to Marcus and I got an extra thing of fries for free. So,
Nice.
you know,
It's now a good day.
So silver lining on a bad day, or it's not so bad.
and I
And
have my first topic today.
and we have Ariadna.
Such a shame it's a Macca's coffee, but any caffeine will do.
I feel like you have opinions.
Aside from the Queen Bee Macca's making my coffee so hard I couldn't feel my tongue for almost 8 days.
It's basically how hot can they make it, and it tasted like ash.
It was like I picked up a kettle and just drank straight from it after it boiled.
There is nothing I hate more than burnt coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Thane, True Striker. Starwing Clan. Currently found out that I do have an aunt who's Bob, like a Bob your aunt instead of Bob your
Sarah Bob.
Sarah Bond.
Sarah Bob. I really like saying and Bob's your aunt.
Yeah, she goes by Bobby.
Yeah. I think that.
Bob's your aunt is perfectly valid.
See, that just changed my whole visualization of her.
Yeah.
She went
Does
from
she have a
like
Bob
being
haircut?
chewing grass, missing teeth, to having a ponytail and pom-poms.
Oh, alright.
Alright, yeah, profiling much.
Works.
It
works.
This, if I were to get onto my
you're not
editor's
talking about Mom and me.
propaganda and marketing and social media and networking and capitalism course, we would be here for the next 3.5 hours about how we're all being brainwashed.
That's media for you.
Hopefully today I won't die, and I won't impede the rebels from achieving their cause
Again.
Look, I'd just like to live through today. That'd be nice.
Well, look, if it was any game but Shadowrun or Star Wars, you can afford to die and get brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This one has.
that's actually true. Although, if I lose limbs, we at least have an in-house tin doctor. Who'd be willing to exchange body parts around.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm going to go finish making my coffee because I obviously need it. What did B1 just say?
I think B1 was just saying yes, he'd be more than happy to amputate and replace things for you.
The word was
Sorry, the word was what?
Improve.
Improve. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Well, just because I slightly modified improve to amputate.
Just ask Luke Skywalker. Replacements are very handy.
That's true.
And I'm sure your replacements will not be too shocking after all.
I need to go to the sink for a second. I just too many puns right now, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
No worries.
All be brightest.
Why? Because he's got an eye for detail.
Just because anything B1 has helped people with in the past has also got a hidden shock feature.
Makes sense, honestly.
Doesn't Jed's
Yeah.
eyes
Jock confidence so last decade.
Yeah. now your own buddy's against you. You're not behaving? Beep.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. I thought I would let people know about a little bit of Star Wars history with being the 401st session. The 401st Legion was well known in the Star Wars universe. That served with the Jedi General Dal Morrigan and the Jedi Commander Keenan Verso, and was known for being one of the few legions that didn't manage to take out their two Jedi leaders, and almost got decimated by said Jedi leaders when the Jedi leaders escaped. Nearly every other legion took out their Jedi.
Crazy.
So, just a notable part of history, and for that they were disbanded.
Yep.
And some of those legions still remain in the storyline on Elrood on a certain farm.
Ah, so the retired clones we ran into.
So already in this
Hey,
story.
Martin,
Yep.
which was the legion that were the holdouts? That had the that sort of burnt a few places and they had the really good air wing.
I can't remember which one they were. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
The problem is, depending on which law you look at, they're all over the place. And my main source of lore doesn't go into the legions very much.
Yeah. There's a whole book series about these guys, I think, like 481 or something. I'm not sure, but it's such a cool history.
But the legions themselves were not many, so having these huge amounts of people that actually went off and did stuff and most of them got massacred fighting droids, and the new ones weren't as good as the original ones. Unless, of course, you were talking about the Clone Squad 99, I think it was. That was all altered clones that were far exceptional than the basic clones. Which is the squad on the Netflix series.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. See, that's what I like about Star Wars. There's so many cool side stories that take place in so many different places. But what I hate about Star Wars is because there's so many stories. It's very difficult to tell what is canon.
That was very hard to do with the original D&D stuff based on that.
Yeah.
Go, David.
Speaking of, how much does Andor not suck? I am loving Andor so much.
I still need to watch it.
Well, if you watch it through to the end.
It doesn't suck.
And then watch the after the credits.
Sounds good. I'll do that.
Did you watch after the credits in the last episode, David?
No, I only finished the last episode yesterday, and I was just a little bit busy to wait till the end credits, but I will go back and check it out.
It's the only episode that has after credits scene, as far as I know, and it's worth seeing for the few seconds it shows you. It gives you an idea of context to some of the earlier episodes.
So, which random Jedi shows up out of nowhere?
I'll actually tell you, there are no Jedis whatsoever shown in that sequence.
Ooh.
Not even Dark Jedi shown.
Yeah, okay, so I'm guessing then which one of the which old cool old character shows up then. By the way, no, sorry, I dropped that. I really enjoy Silverera showing up in these different series. It just I love his character and I love the way he's played. That's where I want to go.
Yeah, and that's why I've portrayed him in a certain light, and the way I'm doing him is trying to keep him true to the story. And just so you know, they do have a visual of the Death Star.
Nice.
So what the visual actually means, you'll get the context of when you see it.
So, folks, I hope you've all enjoyed this episode of that random fact that we're talking about Star Wars podcast.
Considering it's a Star Wars game, it's not so bad. And it's, I think, in context, that's set a few years after this part of the story.
Okay.
So Andor,
Little bit later. Okay, gotcha.
and Star Wars.
So what we
Rebels
need
about
to do
3
is
years
find
after
Saw
this.
Gerrera, kill him, and then ruin the timeline.
There you go.
That's perfectly fine. I will alter the timeline based on what he doesn't
Oh,
achieve.
now I remember what's happening. That took me a while.
Did you want to do your recap now that?
No.
Actually, I would love to hear.
all I read was the last bit was we decide on employ 20 Coinite guards to help apprehend the criminal group on Marissi.
Yep.
Which just gave me flashbacks to the entire episode. So this is how my brain worked. Remember 0. You recount your thing, I listen to videos.
So those of you that didn't actually make last session, most of last session was planning.
Yeah, that's all it was. Really embarrassing Jed/Piper.
And what was that, David?
Anyone opens the message.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So the message is a invite to catch up on Mercy in 3 days' time.
That's the part.
And it's all in code. So considering you have the code, you can actually decode it and watch it, but anyone else sees the message, it's just a whole lot of random crap.
I'd be
Yeah, so people translate it and verbally read it out, or read it out to the party translator.
Do you show it to anybody as you're translating?
No, so it's never actually rewritten down, but it will be read out to the party.
Okay.
Does it say wretched vibes of scum and villainy?
It does.
Why did you not just start the episode with that book title?
Because that's not where you're going.
Still, that's an awesome opener.
Good time.
This is why people aren't watching our videos.
I don't know, tell me I need to have better episode titles.
So what, we're going to Tatooine?
Yeah. No. That's why I didn't introduce it. It's not relevant.
Well, Marissi is not far off Tatooine for a wretched scum of hive and villainy.
I'll put my editor cap on for a second. It's called clickbait.
Okay, just so you know, the information for the system data file says the Maris system with the yellow sun known as Maris has 6 planets in system. Marissi, the 4th planet in the system, is the agricultural center of the Elrood Sector. You get the following broadcast once you enter system, because you are already heading there when B1 got his message.
Yeah.
Welcome to Marissi, breadbasket of the Elrood Sector. We hope your stay here is pleasant. Your arrival has been previously scheduled. Please turn to frequency J33567Y32 for further instructions. If you have a medical emergency, please turn to frequency J45411K77. Notify the duty officer in charge. An emergency team will be waiting for you when you land. If you have other business to declare and need further instructions, turn to override channel 47 where traffic control will assist you. Give you some idea of what the place is like.
Yep.
So those who have scheduled their arrival and departures get preferential treatment.
Yep.
Those that don't have to talk their way through. But as you're got the Imperial Sector Ranger ID, you rarely schedule where you're going, because scheduling means people can wait in late for you and shoot you up as you appear in system.
Yeah. That's
You'll,
dangerous. We're the police. We come when we want.
Just like it was
Yeah,
your
so what's
right
the
Thursday when you
yeah.
wanted. Go, David.
What's Kensley's character's name again?
Kayana.
Last name?
Cape Weird.
What was that again?
Kayana Cape Weird.
Was that C-A-P-E-W-E-I-R? Or something similar?
W-I-R, yeah, close enough.
Close enough. B1 turns to the override frequency.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There's greetings. This is Starport Control. How may I assist you today? By the way, that is 5 credits.
Imperial Droid B1337 reporting on behalf of Head Sector Ranger Khan and Carweir. We require entry into the system.
Entry granted. Coordinates provided for landing at main starport. By the way, that will be 10 credits.
Not likely. Thank you. Hang on.
He said thank you. That's him being ultra diplomatic.
Okay, so yes. You believe you've been given clearance to come to the planet.
Certainly.
B1 kicks the R4 droid into plotting a course and passes the information on to whoever's piloting.
Is it
I think
astronomic?
I was gonna say if we're in system, can R4 just pilot us?
Yes, R4 can pilot you.
Cool. We'll let R4 pilot.
R4 happily chirps away. Let's see if I've got a nice little chirp to give you.
It's serious.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. B1, without fuss, B1 passes on the coordinates to R4.
That was a long.
That's a good one.
Obviously,
Yeah.
he was telling him off for some reason.
Honestly, that sounds like R4 and B1's relationship, so it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a yes or no conversation, and he
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a tirade.
It's very good.
All that meant yes.
translate roughly. Yes. Okay, so yes, you start heading towards the planet. You see you have targeted the capital city of Terrinoth as your destination.
You may fire when ready.
Yes, he has locked on with all weapons based on the suggestion of the party member.
What? Who?
Well, we just had the sector ranger say you may fire when ready.
Which sector ranger said that?
Khalid.
The drunk one.
B1 very quickly stops targeting the planet, even though he was immediately reacted with it's just an automatic reaction to start targeting the planet. Then stops himself and throws a wrench at Khalid. Then immediately goes back to work. B1, as we're entering, B1 begins monitoring as many communications frequencies as possible to gather as much information about the landing site, and then the information further out from the landing site, and trying to find any relevant information that
Okay, you managed to get into the information bureau for Terrinoth that talks about the history of the place and how it has over 5 million souls, counting droids, on planet. Has over 5 million souls, counting droids, on the capital.
Oh, just the capital. Oh,
Yeah, sorry, on the capital.
The one time you pulled screw
very,
over.
very briefly raises an existing eyebrow.
And it has the largest number of public parks in the sector.
And begins looking into the options.
And just about everything on planet has a fee for the gullible and stupid.
We have B1 navigating
sorry.
for us. We'll be fine.
We can hear you, David. You're just dropping in and out a little bit.
Yeah, it's really annoying. B1 immediately begins splicing into systems, ignoring the general information and starts trying to hack into systems to gain information, relevant information.
Okay, so the fees that they charge are voluntary donations according to the Empire, which means that if you choose not to donate to the fees that they charge you, that's not your problem. Unless, of course, you agree to said fee, in which case then it's actually a fee. But they still term it voluntary donations, so they don't get charged for it, and they don't have to pay the Empire. So it's generally frowned upon under the Empire to pay their donations.
I need more coffee.
We're gonna just say it's tax fraud.
I clearly
It is
don't have enough
definitely
coffee
tax
to process all of these fees.
And they've done it in such a way that it's technically not fraud because they've said it's a donation, but they charge people, which then makes it a fee and makes people confused in that morally grey area.
I was gonna say, so it's not illegal, but it's not nice.
But they get enough of it from
They want to send a text message to every party member, reminding them, and pointing out and reminding them that almost every single fee on this planet is voluntary and not to pay it, otherwise you're getting duped.
I think be
Good to know.
And most things that if they refuse to do it until you pay, generally means it's not a contribution. You know, being inside Starport, they may not allow you to refuel or dock if you don't pay the landing fee.
Totally. Entirely.
Whereas the ones where if they do the thing, then it's considered a donation.
Yeah.
If it's paid after the fact. But luckily for you, being a sector ranger, they clear you for governmental landing, which doesn't come with the usual fees,
Cool.
and it is away from the public. So you find yourself landed in a nice little field outside of town. You can see the wheat all around you, or whatever they pass for their space bread or space grain.
Corn. Corn is universal.
Space corn there you go.
It's corn.
Blue corn. We call it blue corn, just to get in the fitting.
Blue corn is real, yeah. Sure.
Because everything is blue here.
Yeah. That would even that. So
And there's nothing you can do.
And you are greeted by 3 of the local bureaucrats.
Nice. This is why we have a cone. I will go and greet them.
And around the walls you see probably about 30 black-robed people with standing in the shadowy areas of the starport.
Okay.
Or the cornfield.
If anyone grabs Jed, grabs his weapons and first gun around.
Okay.
So who goes down the ramp first? Fingers have been pointed as Kayana.
Okay, I guess I'll go down first. If Khalid and Thea don't mind, I would prefer them to be flanking as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
As ever.
Yeah.
Which arm are you missing? Which arm are you missing?
I'm pretty sure you're on the right code on the left.
Okay. Alright, there you go.
Yeah.
So yes, as you come down, you are greeted with a statement about the weather.
I will make a similar statement about the weather, assuming that this is some kind of cultural thing.
Ewan then managed to stumble across in his search as it pops up saying, these people are able to predict the weather accurately as a species.
They got that Doppler.
So exactly what did they say about the weather?
Oh, they were talking about it being a sunny day with no sign of rain or storm.
I'll say, well, that's very, very welcome weather. I'm glad to come on the same.
What was that, David?
Before Kesley replies, Blue One will say, These glorious the sector runs with these glorious people are able to predict the weather of this beautiful planet.
They're also supposed to be able to predict the weather on any planet they're on.
Oh, any planet. I was like, any planet. How do they do that? So
But-
Go on, play the game. Play the game.
yeah.
Ask them what it's like on our own planet.
So
But they're not on another planet.
I thought they could do any planet from where they
Yeah.
were. I got
They-
so
They
excited.
need to be on the planet.
That's what I said, from any planet
Fair
that they're on.
That they're on. Yeah. Simulation.
So-
So yeah, no,
Yavin.
I'll comment on it as well. Of like, oh yeah, I'm so grateful for the sunny day. Definitely looking forward to it and being here on the beautiful planet of Mercy.
And how may we help the Imperial Police today?
Today we're here as part of an ongoing investigation. We simply ask for everybody to go about their daily business. Should we require any assistance from the local authorities, we will be in contact.
We are the local authorities.
I will contact you if I need help.
That's good. What sort of help do you think you might need?
So I will say, what were they called? We are looking for. I'm not even write this down.
B1 interrupts you, so what does B1 say in his interruption?
Yeah.
Any information that is required by from you can be relayed through me. I will be stationed here at the ship with connections to ensure communication between all of the party members. You're quite welcome to use me as a liaison. Until they don't have any predictions on what information is required for now.
At that one point, the official pipes up. I think one of our solar activity might be having some problems with your droid's vocabulator.
It goes from time to time, but he's a very efficient droid. With him, any and all messages that need to come to us can go through him. He has contact for us directly.
They hand you a comm link so he can get to them directly.
Yeah, perfect, awesome. So yeah, should we need any further information, we may be requesting local, any files that you have that pertain to our investigation. But for now, me and...
Well, we now have one file. You have an investigation. We'll open the file.
Why, thank you. That is very handy. For now, I need any information. Did you write down the name of the...
I'm looking, and there's all the references are to a group trafficking people,
Yeah.
a criminal group on Mercy.
I have slavers, and they are
Yep.
rival smuggler family to
I just
him. That's all I
reread
have.
my notes 3 times. Like, I'm surely, if it was mentioned, it would be here.
Yeah.
Usually, I didn't write it down with us too much in enjoying the talking at the time.
And
Maybe we
because
all kind
there
of
was
just
no
forgot to come
audio.
up with a name.
Yeah, I don't think we did come up with a name. I'm thinking
Yeah.
because I normally write it down and I like put a little box or a star or
Yeah.
a square to.
So I think we just got too excited and we didn't come up with a name.
It was just meant to be a rival to the True Strikers.
So I guess I'll say I'm gonna assume that we have a name, but we just didn't write it down. So I'll say I'm looking for information about a local. What is the legal name of this called?
Slavers?
No. Is that legal?
Slavers is a...
Traffickers?
well, human trafficking is...
I want to look more for like people who traders. I guess. I'm thinking there's a specific. I can't think of it.
Merchants?
I'm looking for a specific group of merchants or traders that are named, insert name here, to assist with
Agent?
Let's
information.
Talent agent?
I don't know. One of those things. Not that I'm. This is of course
I
ongoing
believe they're known
investigation,
as human labor hire.
Martin, did we need to come up with a name?
No, I came up with a name instead.
Okay. What was
If
it?
you'd like to come up with a name, you're welcome to.
Oh, what name did you come up with?
Well, I was going to use the Sigerians.
That's a good one.
That works.
How did you have that spelled?
ZYGERIAN, which you can even look up online.
ZYG.
ERRIAN.
Yep.
IAN.
IAN.
From Nigeria.
Cool.
And they are the biggest slaving group in the galaxy.
Gotcha.
Destroyed by the Jedi. But they didn't stick.
Okay.
And very cat-like in appearance and mannerisms.
Why was I getting that?
Because you were seeing pictures of them on Clone Wars and stuff.
Okay, there you go.
They did feature in Clone Wars.
How would I connect Zygerian and Zygeria with cat-like people?
The name was used in reference to them.
Maybe.
And your memory does work at times.
Mm.
Never for what you want it to, always for these odd bits of trivia that are unnecessary. So yes, do you ask them about the Zygerians?
I'll ask if there's any information relating to the traitor group known as the Zygerians.
They query you seeing people, planet, or organization.
Organization.
Okay, so we have a group of Zygerian slavers. They don't really have an organization specific name because, hey, it's not like I can ever pronounce what they say when they say what their name is. So it sounds very much like Wookiesh.
Yeah.
And apparently our protocol droids refuse to translate. Something about not fitting protocol.
Gotcha.
But we do have a group of them in the capital at the moment trying to drum up business. Apparently they believe that if people can capture some of the Quainites and deliver it to them, good luck them, they will give a healthy bonus to them, assuming they've still got limbs left intact. Have you ever tried to capture a Quainite and have it do something it doesn't want to?
Ha 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 ha. Fake laugh.
It's just, I had never even heard of police actually arresting them. It's generally every report of a Quainite being captured by the Imperials has generally been in a body bag.
Yeah, usually. Typically is, of course.
One single spark amidst from V1's neck.
And he says normally it involves more Imperial body bags than Quainite body bags, but hey, the end result is normally the same.
Gotcha. Well, perfect. Thank you so much. That will assist with our investigation. I will turn to Thea and Carla and ask them if they have any other questions for our lovely hosts.
So we just know where they are at the moment.
They know that they're in town and they're looking.
Oh, if you want to know where they are, it shows you a data pad with
Yeah.
the actual address of the building they're staying in.
Okay. B1. Please take note of address.
Oh yeah, V1 files it.
Perfect. So that's good.
And then gives you a address of a place where they have a ship stored.
Ship.
Ship, as starship.
Ah, right. The Zygerians.
Zygerian starship, yes.
Okay.
They can't actually park on their building or near it
Yep.
because they
down.
weren't permitted to have accommodation next to the starport.
Okay.
The U1 Skype is not right. Let Mark know. That's for Mark.
Well, was that old or is it still current?
Which is
Is it one of the cameras?
camera, I think, is frozen. So that is that one.
Yeah, virus. Let's go.
Let's see. Is that one?
Yep, got you waving.
Yep, got waving.
Hello.
Well, unless you tell me something's broken, I don't know.
Yeah, I just messaged him.
Cool.
It's the handiness of having other people be able to look at it and go, yes, that's wrong.
Exactly. Okay, so we have location. We know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Do you have any
We
questions?
got 20 coin knights with us apparently.
Yes, we do.
So
does Scarlet have any questions for the authorities here?
Not that I could think of.
Your questions don't count.
Yeah, virus is going off in the background. So with that, I guess I will.
V1 requests total map of
I'd like to announce I've got one Hungarian.
relevant data.
Okay, so the Mercy official gives B1 a download of quite a lot of data. So he's now got the history and customs and legends of the Mercy, all downloading on his system, plus the Mercy maps, a street-by-street view application that allows you to view any place in Mercy by typing in the information.
So does this
Yes,
count
remember
as
that.
Hungarian?
I know the program.
What was that?
Does this count as a Zygerian? He's cat-like.
His face does look very close to it,
He's very loud and demanding.
which also sounds very Zygerian.
He thinks that we're all his slaves.
No, Therion is actually like a space Furby, super demanding and makes a lot of noise and is quite synthetic, and is the origination of the myth virus. Think of from Cowboy Bebop, only Therion.
I'm sure he'll hack into my computers in no time.
See Terrinoth, he looks happy.
You look at that happy face.
I am his slave. Yeah. And he wouldn't sell me because who would pat his face instead?
Exactly. Okay, that's a happy boy.
Well, he tried to buy a patter, but the patter wouldn't be the same, so I'd keep firing them and getting new ones.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, no one would be good enough. You didn't scratch me in the right spot.
Exactly.
Alright, back to Star Wars.
So I guess I'll thank the authorities, let them know that we will contact them should we need any further assistance. But with that, I'll return to the party and I guess try to make the plan of
I can appreciate it.
going into town and try to find these Zygerians while we leave the coin knights on the ship, I guess.
So I'm just standing not too close to Mike so the cat's not furring all over him. Plus he gets a bit of view of the
Okay,
tail.
one other thing that B1 does pick up is Mercy has two races, humanoid races, the Muris and the Taltiors. Both of them originate on the same planet, which is unusual for most planets to have more than one species gain space level technology. Normally one wipes the other out long before they get this far.
So it would be like humans and Neanderthals going together to space level. Dang, that's crazy.
It would be the equivalent of, imagine we had that the great apes became intelligent and then existed in our society.
Crazy. That'd be cool.
That would be closer to it than saying the Neanderthals.
Right. Gotcha.
Because we're descended from them, these guys split off, and while
Yeah.
they look similar,
Yeah.
they're not the same.
Interesting.
I do have a picture of the two,
Oh, cool.
and the head structure is enough to show that they're not descended from each other.
I see. Yeah.
Normally, when they are descendants, they have a very,
Yeah.
they would have a very similar profile to it. So I'll show the people online, if you can see there. You can't see very closely because of how hard to do that, and remember to change the camera at the same time.
Yep.
But I might just do the camera now and you might get a bigger view. Let's see, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
And you can see that
B1 also asks if anyone has relevant physiology on Zygerians.
and their basically hands and feet are shaped differently as well with different number of bones. So it's not just head structure; it's
Gotcha.
other parts of their body.
He's always trying to figure out how the water, how it works. Like he's watching it from the jug going in the bowl.
And when he's unhappy with it, he splashes the water about. It's like, this isn't moving anymore. Oh, it's moving. I can drink it now.
Ice just blows his mind.
Yeah. It's so good.
And one other thing that B1 picks up is that they have a group amongst them known as the Loag. The Loag are the assassins of the Mercy people.
Okay.
Wiped out by the Jedi centuries ago.
Okay.
Actually, it was one Jedi.
Let me guess. It didn't stick.
Well, there has been no report of assassins since then, but they're depicted as wearing black robes and standing in shadows.
So yeah, wiped out. There's 20 of them in the starport alone.
Well, as far as records show, there are none of the assassins are alive today or continuing. So, as far as records
One
go,
picks up the book and throws a rock at one of them.
when you bend down and go to throw the rock at one of them, it's not you can't see him anymore. They've all sort of disappeared into the shadows further.
That's cool.
So
Never mind.
So yes, you have come across one of the hidden pieces of lore of the region that no one off planet actually knows about this cult, and they were considered to be amongst the prized assassins. Supposed to have even have been employed by the various cartels, including Black Sun, before they were wiped out by the Jedi.
So what I'm getting is, one, they currently work for the establishment, and two, these guys are a lot smarter than they look and were super cautious enough to bring a whole bunch of assassins in case we were going to try and kill them all.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, this is their home world of the assassins, as well as the people who met with you.
Gotcha.
Hashtag tactical assessment.
And if you were a threat, you probably wouldn't have made it past the meeting the officials.
Yeah.
I don't know, B1's a pretty deadly hand with a rock.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be right back, but if you guys want to head into...
So another name of the cult is the Cult of Those Who Redeem.
There are a lot of cults.
Which is said to be the same cult, but it's supposed to be what sprang up once the Jedi wiped out the Loang as the replacement cult for the power vacuum of a group trying to redeem Marissy's eyes in the rest of the galaxy, so they're not seen as just the assassins who show up and kill people.
I don't know. It was a reputation. That's not too bad.
B1 looks to Kayana and holds his hand out and gestures for the communicator.
Kayana is indisposed at the moment, but let's say she hands it to you.
But the other thing you also find out about the Cult of Those Who Redeem is their beliefs and practices are heresy under the rules of the Empire.
Right, so B1 doesn't say anything about the assassins just yet.
Oh no,
He just picks up a rock.
so it's not the assassins; it's the people. It's the other cult. So technically there's two cults, but one is linked to the other because it was the replacement cult for when the Loang assassins were supposed to have been wiped out. The Jedi helped form that cult.
Gotcha. So B1 doesn't say anything about anything just yet.
If it's not
He just picks up a rock and looks over to the shadowy people. Damn it, stupid reception.
So yes, you look over towards the shadowy people, and you see one of them sort of standing partly in view, salutes in your direction, and then disappears.
B1 very briefly nods, takes the communicator off down, looks at Jed, and then goes back to the ship.
With or without Jed?
That's up to Jed.
So the other things that B1 finds out about the planet is it has one of the best medical facilities in Sector.
Oh, really?
You won't find anyone better at fixing injuries without requiring cybernetics than here.
Oh, that doesn't
The information with the information that B1 has, he immediately deletes that section out of the information. It's included.
They also have the best asylum in Sector for dealing with the mental cases. Of course, being the only registered mental asylum in Sector, it is also the worst.
Said as player, Thea goes and checks herself in. No, right.
And they also have the Utah's Prime Brewery, the biggest brewer of a
That's what you
fermented
know.
malt beverage that it has become a sponsor of eBay's TV show.
You got sponsorship.
And so every episode you'll see eBay are drinking one of these brews.
Let's make it red colour. Just for this episode.
Strawberry.
B1's voiceover. His crimes are extreme, but not as extremely good as this particular beverage here. I like it served on ice.
And one of those other interesting sidelines is the pharmaceuticals here are outstanding. In the sense of you can go buy a lot of stuff to really mess people up here.
Yeah, B1's going on a shopping spree as soon as he gets a chance.
And they have more farms here than anywhere else in the sector combined.
What are the downs to this planet? Like, I'm considering moving here.
Well, the main down to the planet is getting any form of purchase of accommodation or housing is generally limited to the species.
Oh, okay.
Because this is their only planet.
Yeah.
And allowing others to colonate it makes it a lot harder for them to do stuff.
So, I could just sleep on my spaceship, right?
Well, they do have the spaceport as the main place of other people, which is why they begrudgingly let the slavers move in as long as they didn't stay next to the starport.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Which meant they had more control over what they did. As a species, they are very controlling.
Yep. So, control freak would be the other down.
Yes. Though it is a participatory democracy, so every member on planet votes for a lot of things that happen.
Yeah.
So any new bill or change to laws has to be passed through a certain percentage of the population to agree to it for it to happen.
Yeah.
Which is better than just saying we vote for someone to put the bill through. They don't have the same senatorial thing we have. They just have the people running stuff and the people doing the polling.
Yeah. Seems to work for them.
And the threat of death on anyone who actually manipulates the said polling.
Seems to be working for them.
Well, no one would want to manipulate it if any form of manipulation, no matter how minor, is a death threat.
How far away is the location of the Zogarian family slave trader people?
It'd be about a half-hour ride or a 6-hour walk.
Okay, so we've technically got a group vehicle. We could technically jump on board
Yep.
and head out that way. So I take it B1's pretty thoroughly covered all the data, so I'm all for... What time of day is it?
Okay, so the days on this planet. Luckily for you, it's a standard 24-hour rotation. So I'd say you landed on midday. So you still got half a day's worth of light ahead of you.
Why don't we head over and see what we can scout out about these people, and during the drive we can do a bit of research on
Excuse me.
what we know about the people.
And one of the big takes that everyone else but Jed gets is just about any form of alcoholic beverage is produced here. This is the place that makes anything that's fermented.
Well, it's you said it was the breadbasket of the sector, so it
Yeah.
makes sense why all the alcohol is made here.
Yeah.
Yet it has absolutely no alcohol-based grain.
It's because they sell it everywhere.
P1 hands out space phones to everyone / communicators,
Yep.
and remains in the ship to coordinate from there.
Okay. Space phone for you. Space phone for you. Not for you, but space phone for you.
Who didn't get one?
Yeah.
Probably Jed.
Jed probably should have one already in his helmet.
Yeah.
Well,
Doesn't-
he's also got it in the eyes too.
I was going to say, doesn't B1
No,
talk to
visual,
Jed
yeah.
through his eyes?
Text.
Visual.
So he gets the bubbles
Yeah.
appearing over people's heads with things they're possibly thinking. This person doesn't like you. This person also doesn't like you.
And
wants to
P1
kill you.
definitely doesn't mess with Jet on that.
Poor Jet.
This one thinks you're hot. Just kidding.
Just kidding, I hate you.
Strangely enough, I think sometimes I channel David.
On occasion.
Yeah, look, if I have one lasting legacy on this earth, it's to mess with anyone and everyone.
Mission complete.
Okay, so you get in your vehicle and drive into town.
Yep.
You find that as you're driving into town, black road figures are blocking off traffic on the way you're going, so you're not stopped.
Oh, interesting.
It only takes one black road figure to stand in the intersection and hold up his hands for everyone to come to a grinding stop.
B1 closes the doors to the ship and secures the ship.
I'm sure in this time none of them has snuck aboard.
Yeah. Purge atmosphere from the ship.
Damn good thing that we all got in the car. We all did get in the car, right?
Okay, so
Hands up for Jet.
everyone got in the car, including Jed, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless Jed's now suddenly gasping on the deck.
He's now dead.
In that case, then B1 does start purging gases into the ship.
Wait, aren't there coinites on the ship though?
Yes.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
Shit! Not. Yep. Well, B1 will attempt to heavily secure any access to the coinites.
That's okay. They're very good at identifying threats, so if you say there might be someone on board, please find them. They would go out of their way to make sure no one else was on board.
In the ship. Yeah, look, these shadow guys scare me, but I don't want to try and provoke them and kill them. I just want to tempt them off the ship.
Well, you could always just have a pair of coinites stand down the bottom as a threat. They are far more of a threat than the shadowy guys.
Yeah, look, I just don't want everyone knowing that we've got coinites on the ship.
That's up to you.
I think we're okay.
So yes, you do find yourself making your way into the city unobstructed. The roads are being cleared.
So our half-hour drive becomes 15
It
minutes.
does. And it soon has the message come up on your system, you've arrived at your destination.
So what does our destination look like?
Looks like a 6-story building with various windows looking out on our vista of gardens around it.
So this is where like the trafficking families stay?
This is where the trafficking organisation has their people and their local business running out.
Okay, and what does their local business look like?
It's basically a person at reception at the bottom, and their local business is you need a body, we can source it.
I see. Does anyone want to try to scout out the place? Are there only...
Just while I'm not going to participate too much in this section, but if there's any sort of visual coming back from Jed's eye, anyone is going to be scanning absolutely every single pixel, looking for a threat or information, or just learn interesting things. And if there is something that's relevant, we will highlight it and point it out to Jed, and I'll leave it up to you.
Okay, will do. And if you want to pipe up, just pipe up when you can. Okay, so what does people want to do?
I was just wondering, is this solely Zergarians moving in and out of there, or are there some humans?
Well,
is it
not
a
many
mixed-
people are going in and out at this stage. It's
Okay.
basically in the middle of a park, so it's away from most of the other businesses.
Okay, so there's no easy way to reconnoit.
People do go past a lot, but very few people go in and out.
Yeah.
You think that slavery is not something most of the people here are into?
I dare say 6 of us turning up on the doorstep might be very obvious. Do we want to stop somewhere else and then walk back a little? Do some of us want to walk back?
I think if we can...
Does eBay want to
have
go
our-
in saying that he wants people? And
Yeah, I think it would be helpful to have our consultants go in to kind of stake out the place in a less official capacity, because if us 3 Mandalorians go in with this now procession that we had into the city, be a little obvious. So
I can.
So I would suggest that Jed and eBay go together into there to make some
video.
like you can take some video, because we have video through Jed's eyes, just to get some information about how many people are there, what do their forces look like, and see if we can come up with some kind of deal where we can draw them out of the city. We can make the claim that you have coinex to trade.
I'm recruiting for season 2 of.
Yeah, you can say you're recruiting for your TV show.
Of so you think you're famous until you die.
Someone's been watching John Robertson a lot.
Jed will just nod, just look at you, nod. I'll get eBay and just nod, and then whatever we do.
I'm sure Jed's all into changing the name to you wake up and find yourself in a dark room.
Spin-off
and
series.
finding the light switch.
Yes.
So
And the various ways you kill the contestants.
yes. So yes, me and myself and Jed will go have a powwow with the.
Is there any reason why one or two of us can't dress in civvies and tag along?
You can go if you want. Go ahead.
Just because it might mean that.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I'm just worried if eBay and Jed get themselves in some sort of trouble.
I feel like you don't trust Jed and Ivea. That's what I'm hearing.
It's less about trust and more about if someone tries to kill them, neither of them have a specialty of killing back, whereas all 3 of us.
Jed is a Mandalorian.
Jed was trained a lot of melee.
Okay, let's just put it this way. If one of the sector rangers kills even in their civvies, it's going to be a very different story with the authorities than if one of the consultants who have no rank with the Imperials does the killing.
Though B1 pipes up with a list of crimes and misdemeanors of mercy, and the killing of someone doesn't actually rate as a major crime, unless, of course, it was for political gain, or for rigging the system, or for anything that basically is about about chain politics or bureaucracy. Personal disputes that end in death or misdemeanors.
Well, if there's no real worry about their safety, then I'm fine for them to go in. It's not about not trusting them.
Oh no, that just means that they won't get in trouble. Not necessarily you don't have to worry about their safety.
To be honest, I don't necessarily want to go in. I'm just putting forth the idea that
If-
maybe one of
If
the
you or
rank-
Carly want to go ahead, go ahead.
I hear kind of going, not for me, thank you.
This train wreck is for someone else. Pass.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's
Hard
exactly
pass.
what I'm doing.
I talked to the diplomats. I get to watch now.
I was going to say, as the leader, what I'm doing is delegating.
Yes,
That's what I'm doing.
That's precisely what you're doing. Did you want to see to this?
B1 highlights the kind of an excellent place to provide a watch across the building and cover anybody's escape.
Perfect.
Do they serve coffee?
They do.
Well, it's not like they need any protection.
I would get into trouble.
If first time I heard Jed say Nikolai, you just a sigh, okay?
So apparently Jed is the cameraman.
What about Carly? Do you want to get into the?
I was going to say,
Into the action?
does Carly want to go?
I don't really have anything that's appropriate to wear.
Totally fair.
I'm sure
Because
we've all
if
got
I was going to go with
some
them, I
sort.
still would be wearing armour.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
But you don't have to wear your sector ranger gear.
Well, he's been tooling his own gear to
Yeah.
replace the Sector Ranger gear,
Yeah, just wear that.
but it's in the Sector Ranger colours.
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Oh, well.
That's because then he gets to wear it to work.
I want to have coffee. I'll change with you. We're the same size.
Okay, so the three of you are having coffee.
There you go. The GM decided.
The other two of you meander on into the slaver's den.
What's the safe word?
Oh crap!
Apples?
Food bar.
Sure, Fubar.
I was going to blueberries, but anyway, okay.
I think Fubar was decided on.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, so myself and Jed go into the building.
As you step in, you hear a droid voice identify you as eBayer, local celebrity, very little worth in the slaving market.
I don't know if you should be offended or not.
I am offended.
You need to start slaving if you want to be in a rank.
Well, I mean, I'm here looking for.
And there's a Mandalorian name unknown for the person following you in.
I'm here looking for cast members for season 2 of. So you think?
Oh, this
we're
was just a droid that did
Ah, sorry.
a droid scanned you and came up with that as you were walking in the doors.
I will remember to throw a wrench at said droid on the way out.
Checking with B1, I'm pretty sure he's got a pocket full of those.
And behind the desk, you see one of the Zygarians wave you over and going, "Oh, you must be eBayer, the local celebrity.
Why, yes, I am.
Strike a pose.
How may I help such an illustrious person? So big in stature and power."
Oh well, I'm recruiting for season 2 of So You Think You're Famous and Then You Die.
How many people would you like to purchase?
Well, we don't operate on a purchase scale. It's more like,
Well, what you do with them once you purchase them is completely up to you. So, executing them on camera is your prerogative because you own them. Legally, you can do so.
I suppose it's not too bad of a downside.
The Empire has provided us with all the legal documents, so you may do whatever you like to these people once you have purchased them. And they come with a bill of health and a warranty for the first 30 days. If you're not happy, we will replace them. As long as you haven't executed them themselves. But if they run off, that's your problem.
How many episodes per season? So,
If you're running by today's standards, you go from 24 to 22 to 18 to 12 to 8 to 6.
so 22. Okay.
So it's 22. Sure, you want to have a couple of backups in case you want to reshoot scenes.
Or reshoot people.
Well, you can normally only shoot them once depending on how accurate you are.
Marisi has the finest surgical and medical facilities in the galaxy. Pretty sure resuscitating them is probably an option.
Yes, but unfortunately, you're not there at the moment.
No, I know I'm not there. I was just being the B1, reminding people of all the lovely advantages of the planet.
Plus, they all come with cranial explosives in case they try to escape.
Awesome. First of all, I would like to know what sort of people/creatures.
What's your stock?
Stock. That's the word. Thank you.
Well, it depends on how quickly you want them. We can source outside the sector. We have imports coming in all the time. The Empire always has need of new labor.
What's your current inventory on
site?
On site.
Well, we do have a couple of droids that, normally we deal in live, but hey, droids come in handy too. You don't have to feed those ones.
I was going to say, droids, we just switched away from good quality merchandise to, I've dug myself in a hole, haven't I?
You have.
Droids
Really
are
have.
not necessarily not good quality. What I mean is live merchandise too, not so live but sentient.
Jed's eyes start to twitch.
I'm not there!
Apparently, you're getting feed from B1, and as you're having coffee, watching the proceedings.
I was gonna say your comms probably just have a high pitched buzzing going right now.
I just need a bullet to the head. It'll end all my misery right now.
Well, look, B1 gave you the communicators. You don't know that there's not a zapper in the communicator as well.
And it says that's our bottom of the line things. We know Jawas like to shoot droids.
They do?
Well, there's an entire subculture of videos going around the holonet of Jawa shooting droids. But you stand out because you've upgraded to other sentients. Not that droids are a downgrade, but the shooting the droids has meant that most of your kind don't get persecuted for murder.
Sorry.
But I mean, this is all in the spirit of a TV series, so
That's okay. We've got the correct disclaimer to put up on your series. They hand you a file across the desk that goes onto your communicator. It's a whole disclaimer about how anyone killed on this show was the property of the show and had no legal
All persons
standing.
depicted were humanely
Oh no, it
sourced.
doesn't say humanely sourced. It just says we're legally sourced.
humanly destroyed.
Yep, and no droids were harmed in this
In the making of the show.
series.
And we do have ranging up to humans in our stocks. So depending on what you have interest in, we do have a couple of humans on site. We have some Mandalorians, some occasional a Wookiee or two, some Coinites. Of course, the Coinites are quite prized as labor because they are quite strong and dumb. We don't traffic in the Mercy or the Bruce or the Teltors on site, but off planet that is a possibility, as well as the usual Twilight and what was that?
Is that the aircon blowing your book?
No, it's
it's just the book.
Because of the way the book is.
Yeah.
Sorry. What was I
Sorry, I
saying?
didn't mean to interrupt you, Steele.
Hard to get back on track when I'm.
So yeah, occasional Twi'lek and
and a few other
yeah.
select races. Go, David. Hello, David.
I think we lost you.
Yeah.
You're on mute again. Did you mean to be on mute? So we've got a Hey Kesley in the background, and then he went on mute.
Oh, there he is. Back
Sorry, I'm just in a really bad reception spot. Hey, Kesley. Hey.
Again, the Hey
Sorry.
Kesley.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you
I'm
dropped
trying to
out
figure out
again.
if it's my hearing aid or...
Nope.
No. It's why I mentioned the sunspot idea at the start when he came on planet.
Yeah. So hold that thought. We'll come back to you when you have reception again.
So yes, they give you a whole spiel of things, and they do say that they don't have any Jawas currently in their holdings, but they can get you some if you'd like to execute some Jawas on show. Yeah, keeping it real sort of thing.
Yep. I would be interested to know more about the Mandalorians.
Well, that they are the amongst the most warlike of those we have. Though can't guarantee that they will be willing to participate in the show, so it might require a lot of training and discipline.
Do you have any details about the Mandalorians? What?
So we have lot 7 to lot 12 of the Mandalorians, and unsure whether they're male or female. Could be bothered looking.
Okay, and
lots 1 to 6 pre-sold when we got it in and have already shipped out.
okay, and
Oh, back now?
We get the starting preamble, but we don't get the rest of it.
Oh no, it's
Mostly, sort of. Kesley, is there a D20 in front of you?
not in front of me, but I'm sure we can source
It
one.
wouldn't be too hard to do that. Oh,
It is, but
Maybe it's the big one,
probably better to use one of those ones and not the.
not the flashy one, because it will go bad. I rolled a 6.
So we got a 6.
Sorry?
A 6.
6.
8, 6.
Yeah. So, perfect.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that.
So no murderous rage coming from the droid at this point.
That's good.
Probably a good thing. And what can you tell me about the? Was it a Wookiee or?
1 or 2 Wookiees. We're sure that some of them Wookiees, hard to tell with all that fur. They could just be glued on.
Okay.
because someone would want to glue on fur and pretend to be a Wookiee so that they could get.
Hey, one of them's all white. It's not like I can tell the difference.
all white.
An albino Wookiee.
That'd be rare.
Can't think of the ratings for that one.
I'm going to say my fist clenched a little bit when they talk about Wookiees, okay? So,
Yeah, Wookiees, not Mandalorians.
Not Mandalorians.
Yeah, the Mandalorian thing didn't phase him whatsoever, but the Wookiees. Yeah,
the Mandalorians as well.
He's up
but
to
the-
12 people that could be family.
Yeah, no, I'm doing both. Clenching
Your
fist, one fist clenched,
parents,
other fist
so-
clenched, okay?
So is it lefty for the Mandalorians and righty for the Wookiees?
Right hand for the Mandalorians, left hand for the Wookiee.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think we'd be interested in the Mandalorians, the Wookiees,
What else?
I'm just trying to think if there's a Jawa that owes me anything.
Well, let's just put it this way: if you buy them, they will.
They don't have any, but they will source some for you. You just might end up with Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean,
You get all your cousins back that you turned in.
Yeah.
yeah, a Jawa. If you can get hold of Amazon, then that would
Then
be
you can do a David and say no repercussions.
yeah. And it wasn't me; it was a TV show. And I'll take a couple of the humans. I think you said there were humans.
Yeah, there were humans. They generally have the higher prices to them.
What about
So-
the Coinites? Because we've got Coinites with them.
I forgot
One
about
of the
those.
ways of motivating our Coinites might be to find out about the Coinites that they do have.
Sure, and yes, how many Coinites?
Oh, at this stage, I think we have 10 in holding. It may be down to 9 by morning. They tend to fight and kill each other.
Okay, so what is it? 10 Mandalorians, 10.
No, five
No, five
Mandalorians,
Mandalorians.
6 have been sold and sent off already.
10 Coinites,
And 1 to 2 Wookiees.
and 1 to 2 Wookiees.
So it says that'll probably
Maths.
set you back. She types in a couple of numbers. So once you transfer 60,000 credits, we'll have them ready for you to pick up.
We could always steal them.
Kesley, can you roll that d20 for me again, please?
10.
I think you need 11 and above.
I don't think so. I'm rolling terribly.
Give
Might
the
be the
dice to
attack
Mike.
rolls.
Mike just wants to see what he's going to get.
15.
Oh, there you go!
Yeah, it's just me.
It does have higher than
Alright,
10
carry
on
on.
You never know, it could be odd or even.
Can't remember how much money I have.
Well, your brain accounts got drained by your cousin.
But he
Yeah.
retained 25 grand, I remember, from one of them, because I just listened to it.
Yep.
So I know you've got at least 25 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think when
Well,
you...
the TV show can. Yeah, the TV show can pay for it.
Yeah, the TV show,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay, they say, well, this will clear in about 5 days, at which point we'll notify you for pickup. So we might have to say that we can't guarantee the number of Coinites in that time because they might have depopulated part of their population by then.
You should make a deal that the price goes down by the amount of Coinites that don't survive.
Yes, I've sent you a preliminary
Contract?
fee.
That's okay.
Deposit. There we go. Words. England.
Deposit.
I've sent you a deposit of 20,000, and I shall pay the remainder when I pick up the rest of the stock. And if there are any that are missing from what we've discussed, then we'll just deduct whatever it was.
Awesome.
Yep.
And see us, if we get more professional editing one day, just putting in a David set of clips where it's like, Kesley, Martin.
Yes. Yes.
Go, David.
It'd be brilliant,
Go,
really.
David. Go, David. Go.
Only fun to us, but still.
I think it's the,
Yep.
11.
As far as the Imperials are concerned, is slavery legal?
Yes.
Yes. It, fully authorised by the Imperials.
And make the Death Star somehow.
Well, they've got all the licenses and things they told you at the start. They said, the Imperials have okayed, if you kill these guys, as far as the Imperials are concerned, you bought them legally, you can do what you want.
Yep. Did we get any did B1 get any information from the footage from
Jed's eyes?
Yes, that the place seems to be officially licensed by, through the Empire, and the licenses are valid.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and we'll be back in 5 days.
Okay, so in 5 days we'll have to wait for the rest of the money to clear before we can release them.
Yep.
But we can show them to you in 5 days.
Sure.
Unfortunately, clearing money between planets takes a while.
It is what it is.
We can't change things right now, but
They
my question is...
They obviously haven't heard of Oscar.
What sort of contract have you entered into? What happens if they don't have any of the people you want in 5 days' time? And...
Well, the contract reserves them for the deposit, but they don't give them to him until the full money clears.
Clears. But, if what happens on eBay's side, if, I don't know, someone stole all of those slaves.
But they don't get the rest of the money.
But then do you lose 20 grand, or will you get a refund because they didn't deliver?
Refund is in the contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have you...
All I know is that there are a lot of criminals running that slaving organisation.
Yes.
During your...
People who we could very easily arrest.
And put them on the show.
Yeah. Yep. So
Well, slavery is not illegal. The capturing of slave may be illegal, depending on how they were captured.
I come through to B1 and asked B1 if, using the footage that Jed has got, we can identify anyone who might be in particular on our Sector Ranger wanted lists. Like criminals that we actually want.
Yeah, so that was the next question I was going to ask Martin.
Yeah.
Are there any identified criminals within their organisation? And if so, roughly a percentage of how many can be
Do
arrested?
you know what you're rolling for?
Oh, no idea. I was just seeing if I could get a 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so looking through what you can see of their organisation, the names they use don't come up with any criminal identity. Anyone who has been reported to be criminal in their organisation generally disappears or pays the appropriate fines to the Empire. Sometimes in slaves.
I don't know. Maybe we need to get some payments.
So they're all legit imposters.
But they do pay in fines in slaves.
And then they're more than happy to pay for everything.
So, if we were able to run down a few of those names and just tell them that they owed us money because we're Imperials and we work for the Imperials, and we told them that we're open to being paid in slaves, we could acquire our slaves without spending all of eBay's money.
We could do it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let them finish up there, then we can
Yep.
come up with something.
So you guys finish up?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So they can head on back to us. So
And as you walk past the droid, it says identified eBay potential customer.
Oh, you've gone up in rank.
Yes.
Minus celebrity.
And it says Mandalorian unidentified, unimportant.
That's just what Jed wants.
just what Jed needs right there.
I think they probably comes up with possible designation bodyguard.
There you go.
You're assuming this is what it normally internalizes, but it just happens to speak all these things out.
Out loud, yeah. Okay, so they return and we try to kind of game plan. So, like what Mariana was saying, we can say there's some sort of fine that they need to pay, but we would need to catch them in some sort of act first. Because, like, based on all of this,
You assume that most of the acts of crime that they do occur at the collection of their slaves
yeah,
and not near their businesses.
yeah.
Because if they were to break laws near their business, then they would lose their business and their rights to work there. You'd assume that most of the slaves they collect would come from Korad,
Yeah,
that's where the criminal underworld is,
yeah, makes the most sense.
or one of the other planets.
Yeah.
And by operating just the business on Morosi, there's very little chance they would have anything underhanded here.
B1 immediately stand up from where he is, goes down to the workshop and starts building some things.
He starts building. What does he start building?
Lego kit.
Possibly.
So he's going to start building some discrete wireless cameras.
Okay. He's building some surveillance here, which makes more sense than the springs I thought he said. So what's Jed's opinion on all this as Jed walks out and joins the others?
It's a bit, yeah, but just go along with it. Jed's kind of like wants to see a bit more about what these really slaves are, a bit more details, but he's willing to wait a little bit longer before she loses her shit, so, or he loses her shit, so.
What about Khalid?
Do we know which family members have gone missing recently?
Quite a lot of them.
I was gonna say most of them at this stage. Most of the elders of our clan were on Derilyn, and then the other groups of family members that were sent out have essentially gone missing. We're the only one that was reporting back, according to Dom, at one stage. So, most of the family has gone missing. So we can likely assume that the Mandalorians are very much our family members, because I don't think we know of any other Mandalorian clans in this area.
Yep.
And yeah.
So, how much room have we got on our ship?
You do have enough space to take a cargo vessel, and I think you can take probably another 20 or 30 personnel on board if you want to.
Okay, cool. So, we need to find out more on where these slaves have been held up at.
I assume they'd be held in the tower. Yes, David? I did turn the music up a bit so we had something during the pauses. So David, you have completed your surveillance gear. I can hear you now, but you were cutting out. Go.
Is he asking for Mark?
Not sure. He started talking and it cut straight back out again.
Yeah.
I believe he's going through dips and valleys.
Yeah, so it's just not a very good area.
So when David can get through, we will pick up from what he was saying. But he is working on surveillance gear, which he has completed. So,
Okay. So, I'm just trying to figure out what we can do here. I like that one. We're gonna catch it all up once.
so I did hear a bit of Jed in there.
I heard some. Damn it.
So damn it, Jed.
That's on brand.
Alright, let's try again.
Yoo-hoo!
Yep. That's a lot clearer.
Alright, so first of all, B1 sends a message. Yeah, I'm going to make this really quick. B1 sends a message to Jed saying, I have a plan, get back as soon as you can. B1 drops all the armor that he's made previously, grabs his medical bag, and waits for Jed.
Jed gets an incoming call. His eyes light up.
No, just a text. Just a text.
Incoming text. Bing! Message waiting for you, sir. Click here.
He's poking his eye.
Yep, he wears a helmet, so he has to take the helmet off first. So does Jed answer the response to the message sent by B1?
You there, Mark?
He's currently on mute.
Oh, it is. I thought of myself again. Anyway, I'll go, oh, message, okay. And I'll go follow the message back to go see David. Tell eBay that there's a problem with the camera. And if he goes, what problem? And I slam it on the floor going, that's the problem, I'll get another one. And I go back.
Okay, let's go.
You jump in the vehicle and start driving back for a new camera while discussing things?
Do they leave us behind
I'm
and
not
then
sure.
nick off with our vehicle?
Probably. S03E10.
I'm feeling very attacked here.
I'm
Isn't
not
that
asking,
isn't that
I'm
what's
just,
yours is mine? What's mine is mine?
Like, Jed's just said they get in the car and they leave. Are they collecting us first?
Jed's on one kind of point mine at the moment saying, have to go back, I'll go pick him up on the way back.
I believe the
So
answer
you're
is
going to
no.
leave us stranded?
Be back soon, don't worry.
You're drinking coffee.
I say, we'll be back soon, I keep saying, and I yell out the window, trust me.
No!
It's that faithless crew. Oh,
Yeah, I don't think you're going to outrun a speeder.
No, I know I'm not going to outrun a speeder, but I am the main driver of the vehicle.
Jed gets in the vehicle and it says authorization not approved.
Oh, cool.
okay, sorry, you ready?
Lethal countermeasures in 3, 2.
No, it's not quite that bad. I do maintain the vehicle, so. I would like to go back with him, and if other people coming back, or
Yes.
yeah.
I'm surprised that eBay didn't try his override.
I threw my wrench at the droid in the slaver's place.
Oh, you lost your wrench.
Yes. Got many more on the ship.
Yep. You have to stock up on those wrenches.
I say it only takes you about 15 minutes to get back to your ship.
Mhm.
As soon as you arrive, B1 gets in the vehicle and says, what are you doing here? Alright, turn around, go back.
Go back where?
Can anyone fill us in on what's going on?
That's where you were, where the hell that was. Yes, just Just drive. I'll explain to you on the way.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Due to the urgency in B1's vocalization, we cut a hard U-turn.
Alright, so those idiots are doing a deal. You idiots are doing a deal with the slavers. First of all, working really hard not to kill all of them right now, so I've decided not to do that. But we need to see them. You guys have paid money for them. There's no better way to see them other than a medical inspection.
This sounds like a brilliant plan. What are we inspecting? Did we hear
Of course
everything
it's a brilliant
that
plan.
okay.
I'm assuming they told you on the 15-minute trip.
Okay. I just wanted to know what information I was allowed to have.
Okay, so another 15 minutes so later, you find yourself back at the coffee shop.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait in the car.
And just as Jed and maybe
So I think that's Jed and eBay so going back with B1 to do a medical inspection of the slaves that eBay has bought.
Hey, sure stuff. You leave. They know you.
Alright. So we go back into
You
the...
can see that the producers are requiring it.
Yep.
Okay, so the droid identifies you as eBay, potential buyer. Jed, potential bodyguard. Leet, welcomed associate.
First 7. Definitely not going to burn this place to the ground.
And they say, oh, look, we have a famous person here. Hi, Leet. How are you doing? You have been given a VIP status with the organization. How may we help you today, sir?
I have...
I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. eBay, we've got a VIP over here that needs his attention.
I'm here on behalf of Steve Bear. I am the designated medical monarchist. I'm also an expert physician, and I need to inspect the prisoners. Slaves with drugs.
So you have an all-access pass. So we will get you in to see them as soon as possible, sir. Do you need any an oil bath or any sort of maintenance or recharging services while we're here?
I maintain myself at all times.
I'm sure you do, sir. Any other requirements you might need while we're making the arrangements?
Silence.
That guy's Liam.
I need that guy's leg.
Does eBay say that? I mean, does Leet say that? You have a feeling these guys would go and chop the leg off and give it to you.
Yeah, no. P1 stops for a moment. You know what, Derilyn, do me a favor, roll that D20 again for me.
14.
Excellent. Nothing happens. P1 sort of looks down, looks back up, somehow sighs, even though he doesn't have red lungs, and says, you know, I've always wanted to come here. I hear you guys are excellent at your trade of labor hire.
Yes, we're all into the contract.
It is an absolute privilege to be here. Yeah, I'm sure that's a thing.
And Ariadne, did you?
I'm pretty sure he just tells us to roll that dice and nothing's ever going to happen. But he just makes us all wonder. And it'll come out like in 2 or 3 years' time, oh, nothing will ever happen. But we're all waiting to find out what happens. It'd be an awesome
I would
label.
love to be first.
Yeah, I was gonna say that definitely sounds like something you would do, but I know that there actually is a reason to do it.
I just thought it was a funny idea.
It's absolutely a hilarious idea.
Part of the reason I sometimes roll dice.
Well, the fact is, I've seen Martin roll it very seriously several times to know that it's not that, but I'm like, that'd just be really funny.
Would be.
Yeah, so B1 does the general celebrity exploitation of these idiots.
And you do find it interesting that you're being given preferential treatment status with them.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that.
Has me curious about B1's background, but alright.
Okay, so as they're discussing things, they do say that we'll have the merchandise moved up shortly, and due to your connections to eBay, they've waived the rest of the fee.
Oh, beautiful. You get a discount.
Woo! You got an unbelievable discount.
So yes, you do find that they come up with what they're calling two Wookiees.
Wait, they got the 25,000?
That
20,000.
they had said, how much did I say? 60,
60.
and you paid 20. So you're basically getting everything for 20.
Yeah.
So when the doors open and the two Wookiees are escorted out, you see one of them's actually a Tals and not a Wookiee. Easy to tell they have 4 eyes instead of 2.
And is the other one actually a Wookiee?
It is a Wookiee. He looks to be really angry.
Is it Stumpy?
Not Stumpy.
You said he, so I think if it was Stubby, we'd probably be
that's right.
with a she.
But he does also have a black and silver patchwork fur.
Does their name start with a K? Sorry.
Not unusual amongst Wookiees, just not as common. Let's say here's the two Wookiees. The others are being brought up in separate lifts because, well, you rarely put Wookiees with other species unless you want to lose limbs or other stuff.
That's probably why the Wookiee's so pissed off. She's like, this is not a Wookiee.
Just to be clear, we now own all of these slaves, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Really glad you guys didn't rule them on them anyway.
B1, do you ask about the
Roll a
6 Mandalorians that were lost?
Not yet. Not yet. We'll get there. Let's just get through everything first.
Yeah, no, I'm just flagging.
Yeah. B1 asks if we can take the slaves immediately.
Yes, we're more than happy to release them into your custody. We have all the paperwork prepared.
Alright. We're going to be careful about that. B1 looks to Kayana and just gestures to take the wheel on that one.
Oh, I'm not there, so.
It's just eBay and Jed at this stage.
B1 gestures to the Wookiee and the 4-eyed Wookiee for the nerd, and then gestures to Jed.
Okay, then you have coming up in the lift coinites one by one because apparently more than one coinite in a lift is a problem.
We're going to have to organise more transportation.
Yeah,
Our
we'll get to
vehicle
that.
only fits us. Yeah.
Oh, right. B1 jumps on the communicator and communicates.
He jumps on the communicator and communicates to the rest of the party. Kayana. Apparently you've now got something else to do.
Yep. Woohoo. Yeah, I'll organize transport for, I guess it's approximately 10,
coordinates that take
17?
up a lot of space.
Yeah. So 17. So we would need space for 30.
So, yeah. Sorry, no, you're right.
Yeah. So me and Carla can try to organize it, and Thea.
B1 also suggests that you potentially get one of the Klingonites from the ship.
Yeah, like I would probably organize for one or two of, I guess, the more leaderish of the Fortnite mercenaries to come assist with releasing their brethren or whatever.
The paperwork you get also says that if you ever report one of the slaves to have escaped, they can also activate the device remotely.
Head explosion device.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, HED, head. Although it'll end in no head.
Haha! Double entendre.
I like that delay. That was nice.
Always could have done the badum tish on the thing as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, so you end up with the 6 Coinites come out.
6.
They
We've
said
gone from 10 to 9 to 6.
They said there's a problem with the other 4. They're currently getting medical attention. It says you get that with Coinites.
We'll find out how good the medical system is.
Can't B1 do the medical?
B1 is going to ask if they're being treated by the locals or in facility.
In facility, they've got to stop the bleeding first.
B1 says, take me to them.
Okay, and then do you want us to stop the others coming out until you're finished, sir?
The rest of my companions will assist with the remaining Coinites.
And Mandalorians?
That's what I mean. We have to wait for the Mandalorians.
Yeah, there's 5
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorians.
Yep, cool. No, I definitely will wait for the Mandalorians. However, might I suggest that you keep the Mandalorians and the Coinites very separate.
Yeah.
But we do have a serious risk of Coinite insurrection here. Even though we're planning to free them, there is a chance that they will try and escape, even though we are trying to free them.
Yeah, why don't I drop you guys to deal with this and I'll go back and get the Coinites since I can do that in a round trip of half an hour.
Actually,
Oh, no, wait a minute,
B1...
they're driving to us, so that'll be 15 minutes, so...
B1 calls them idiots,
operating.
and asks them to call some form of taxi and or transportation.
Okay, so we have...
B1, I wouldn't normally suggest this, but can you just zap them unconscious or something?
B1 obviously didn't hear you say anything.
You have some good jokes.
Looks at you and says, he looks to you and says, get the Coinites out of here.
They are happy to provide transportation to your ship.
Sure.
As proper holding facilities for transporting slaves.
Sure, let's just go with that.
And because of your VIP status, they won't be charging you for the transportation.
I was gonna say,
Alright.
what did you do to impress these guys?
B1's about to ask that, but obviously it's his TV show, quite clearly.
Oh, right, yes. I forgot about that. Don't know how.
Because somebody always steals the limelight.
No one's looking at you, Mike. No one. Everyone.
Okay, so they start herding them into the garage on the other side of the wall, where they've got individual cages for them all.
Yep.
And then you see a group of Mandalorians come out of the lift. You don't recognize any of them, but you do recognize the clan symbols on them. They're all from Death Watch.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Can I get a brief Wikipedia summary, first paragraph of that?
Deathwatch the ones that are
The Zealots.
ones with the don't want to remove the helmets.
Yeah.
No, they're not the ones who don't want to remove the helmets. They're the
No.
precursors to the ones who don't want to remove the helmets. Deathwatch are the wanting to return Mandalore to the militaristic past it used to have.
Instead
Okay.
of
So,
peace,
yeah.
they want to go back to the warrior rules and the
Yeah.
best warrior rules.
But they did form the Children of the Watch are the followers of them.
Have they been formed by now though? In this timeline?
They've always been there. It's just that once they get to a certain age, they normally went to become part of Deathwatch. But the problem is Deathwatch itself got destroyed at one point, and Children of the Watch remained.
Yeah.
There were more Mandalorians, weren't there?
Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause-
So you got 6 members of Deathwatch here.
I thought it was 5.
Yeah.
Well,
7
sorry,
to
5.
12.
P1 comes very close to them.
That's 6.
Yeah, cool. P1 comes very close to them and asks them very quietly, are there any other clans, is it clans? Whatever. You know what I mean? Present in the remaining Mandalorians.
So there were a different clan here that had been captured earlier and sent off. But they didn't find out which clan they were. They just weren't their clan. They don't always recognize other clan members
Okay.
without the crests.
Is there any way that B1 can talk to them without being heard by the idiots?
Possibly.
And no, I'm not talking about the rest of the party.
I was gonna say, who do you define as idiots in this situation?
I already classified myself, but that's probably the player's low self-esteem, not the character.
Anyway, B1 whispers very quietly to them, you're in safe Mandalorian hands, you will be released shortly.
Okay, and then you get a couple of humans that brought up. They look to be in some sort of pilot outfits.
We can use pilots, that means we don't need to be off war.
Harvard is just fine.
You do hear beeping come over the comlink when he says that.
That sounds like droids.
B1 says to humans, cause no trouble, get no trouble. Do what you're told, and all will be okay.
Okay, so they all get in the transport and start heading off towards your ship.
Yep.
Takes
do you
about
guys
3
wanna
hours to get back to the ship.
advise that?
With, like, having to transport everybody, yeah.
It's also a lot smaller because you're not currently going in the
Streamlined traffic.
almost seems like you have to stop at every intersection.
That's how it always is.
Every red light.
Yep.
So that's why.
B1's going to go down to the medical facility.
Yep. You go to the medical facility. You find it to be rather rudimentary and crude, where they're basically doing, trying to sew people up while they're chained to beds.
Okay. Are there any that are violently opposing?
All of them.
Cool. So B1 actually has a significant amount of anesthetic on him. He used it while he was going to use it to kill Stefan's character.
That's what happened to Cad Kia.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have no idea how close I came to killing Dave here.
Actually, we do.
You didn't.
Just roll your ankle, did you?
Stefan about it while it was happening. So B1 will anesthetize, not euthanize, anesthetize the resisting people and attempt to treat them. He'll spend a significant amount of time doing that. Feel free to cut the signs.
Okay, for that one I'll actually give you a check because these guys have a habit of breaking droids and been resistant to actually getting injections.
Special balance will be used if it has to be.
Sounds like a middle-aged man from like a farming country or something. Just refuses to go to the doctor.
Well, they do have one of those
That's
adages of what doesn't kill you makes you angry.
Yeah, in this case, the doctor is more than the middle-aged countryman.
Okay, so you actually succeed, though you do find that your injector's been slightly damaged and may need a little bit of repair.
That's fine, so I'm going to take a liberty here. At one point, one of them actually tears one of B1's arms out. B1 wrestles his arm back and then hits him over the head with it to knock him out.
That will work.
I like it.
So he managed to disarm you, but you were very disarming in return.
And then he goes back to his
So yes, you've managed to subdue them and help patch them up. Okay, so in that time, you guys have reached the ship. What do you wish to do now that you've got a bunch of newly bought slaves with a eBayer has been given a pad with all the codes to detonate each one individually or all together if he wishes to. With a nice red button.
I guess first we will...
He pushes the button?
No.
I think first we will assist with the transfer of coinites onto the ship to go with the other coinites, but like we would take over so that the slavers don't see the other coinites.
Well, the slavers didn't have to come because they could just send a droid-controlled vehicle.
To do it? Okay, perfect. Well then, I will
Why risk themselves when there are other people that can be at risk?
Exactly. So I will have the coinite mercenaries assist with gathering the coinite slaves. Just to let them know that they're free, they're safe, they don't need to fight.
You see that most of them look very, most of the slaves look very dejected when they find coinites, telling them what to do.
Yeah. That's fine.
Basically, it's like, you fucked up, you got caught, you got turned into a slave. You have to earn the right to fight again.
That's fine.
They should find that inspiring. Seek to
I will release the Wookiee and not Wookiee into Jed's gear. I mean, this is just a point.
This is not meant to be a
me
mean point or anything like
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
But Thayer actually knows more Wookiee than Jed does now.
Yeah, which is really funny.
So, it would it be okay if I just have a conversation with the Wookiee?
Yeah, go ahead. It's perfectly fine. I was just thinking because Jed is technically...
I can translate for you.
Jed is technically a part of the Wookiee, one of the Wookiee clans, right? Technically?
Was that Jedi part of? Yes.
Yeah, Jed is technically a part of the Wookiee clan. So
Yeah.
that was my
No. As I said, I don't want it to be you kind of slight or anything. Just that I'm offering to be the translator
You can join.
because I've been working on this since we first found out about Wookiees.
For sure.
And it became kind of a thing for. It was obviously very important for Jed to find this Wookiee, so I sought to.
Yeah. And then so that's the Coinites, that's the Wookiees.
The humans and
The Death Watch. So I guess I will talk to Khalid and I guess you as well. And Jed all together. about what we would like to do with Death Watch Clan. I'm sure they can help us with a couple questions about the other 6 Mandalorians.
Possibly talk to Captain Tom.
Mm-hmm.
We would have to call Captain Dom, but I don't think we can call him from here.
No, maybe not, but I'm just putting it out there as something we may know.
It's more like trying to find out where they got caught.
Yeah, so I guess I'll talk to Death Watch Clan next, but first I just want to sort out the two humans? Pilot?
3 pilots.
3 pilots. So I guess I will ask them. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Sector Ranger Hannah. May I ask where you were captured and...
Okay, they say that they were captured coming in at Twain from out of the sector, and they were told that their ships were illegal and that they had reached some Imperial doctrine, and as part of payment of fines they were given to the slavers who bought us.
So they were captured by Imperial.
The Imperial Star Destroyer at the Queen's.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a first. When did the Imperials start worrying about Mandalorians?
Oh no, I'm talking to
these are the human
not
pilots.
Mandalorians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the Mandalorians next, but so they were captured legally.
Their freighter was considered overly modified for a freighter, and too many illegal enhancements.
I wonder what their freighter was called.
Probably also to fight off pirates.
Or they might pirates themselves.
And officially their record states that they were convicted of piracy.
Maybe ask them if they want a job.
I think B1 is still looking towards replacing R4.
Yeah, no, I say with that, here you're in safe hands. We might have need of your services. But we'll get paperwork underway for your safety. So with that, I just escort them onto the ship to a safe space, away from the other races, so they don't get hurt.
We're not locking you in here because you're kept prisoner. We're locking you in here for your safety.
Yeah.
They have coordinate security and they don't ask questions.
Yeah. And then with that, I'll take Ross and if you would like to try it as well. We'll go talk to Death Watch. So, do they have like an obvious commander?
Doesn't look like they have an obvious commander. You think obvious commander might have been killed before they got captured.
Gotcha. So I'll introduce myself using my Mandalorian name of Clan Dragonwing. Is that our clan?
It's Starwing.
Starwing. Of Clan Starwing and Senior Sector Ranger of Elrood.
You also have a secret name, but I don't think you would share it with these people.
No, we wouldn't.
They say they're of Clan Vessler, though they do have the symbology of Death Watch. Most people who join Death Watch give up their clan.
Except if you have some understanding of Mandalorian history, not Clan Vessel. Didn't Clan Vessel rule at one point? Mandalore?
And that's why Clan Vestal also formed Death Watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're probably considered in our terms a fairly prominent clan.
Yes.
But a clan that remained after you were exiled.
So I'll introduce myself. I'll say, thinking Mandalorian. These guys were captured as slaves. Therefore, Mandalorian culture states I'm above them, even though they come from a higher clan.
At this stage, they are slaves.
Gotcha. So,
You are just by being uncaught and not a slave, you're above them.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Unless you were to face them off in some sort of fight and then lose,
And then they would go up
then,
again.
then in rankings they would change.
I'll ask them about what do they remember about their capture.
Well, they were hunting down a bounty,
So they were
and apparently were supposed to have something called Imperial license, something or other. Which we never get about in the past.
There's a lot of that going around.
And so while we're turning in said bounty, which was a bunch of Wookiees, we got arrested for illegal capture and detain of citizens of the Empire because we didn't have a license. Our leader got really annoyed by that and shot the Imperial, which really seemed to aggravate them for some reason.
Huh, weird, isn't it?
And in the ensuing firefight, most of the Wookiees we captured got free and ran off. Well, we delivered them, so we had no further need of stuff, and we had proof that we delivered them. It was all on camera. Unfortunately, most of the cameras got destroyed in the ensuing aftermath, so we swear that we had nothing to do with their escape.
Or everything.
Or the fact that it took 6 squads of stormtroopers to take us down.
They're not bragging.
So again, this is another legal capture. So we're running into an issue here. I'll say the company that enslaved you, I guess, that had your documents stated that you were with 6 other members. You shared intel that you weren't sure of what clan. Did you get any names of the other Mandalorians that were with you?
We went house with them in case we'd want to beat them all.
There's a lot of that.
They seem to have some policy on not housing rivals.
What do I know about Mandalorian rivals? Is it literally just any other clan as a rival?
Most clans are rivals unless they're a ruling clan and they're a subsidiary clan.
Right.
And even then, a subsidiary clan can take over and be a ruling clan by...
By taking over.
Doesn't it also depend on the circumstance though? So if you're all meeting for a big clan powwow type thing, well then you're all family. And there might be friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
But if you're all bounty hunters and one clan's after the same bounty you are, well then you're just as dead as any other rival.
Absolutely.
Or if you're 3 rival clans meeting up to discuss attacking each other and someone else shows up to attack one of you, 3 of you might turn on that one person and then go back to arguing about in the aftermath.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
You have a feeling that from what he was saying, they ended up setting the Wookiees free because they got screwed over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. You know.
If they had been paid, they would have happily have turned the Wookiees in, but because they did the job and they weren't getting paid for it, they made sure that no one profited from it.
From the sounds of things, so at least one Wookiee didn't escape. That's probably the Wookiee that we're with.
So they're not sure about the other Mandalorians. I'll ask them, were there any, did they see any significant marks or colorings that the other Mandalorians had?
This is where I'm to confirm they weren't death.
With that in, I'll escort them to the ship, and just say until I can determine further circumstances, you'll be safe here, within our control?
Our protection.
I don't want to say control. I'm trying to intimidate them.
Yeah.
Within our control, on the ship.
I'll give you a coercion check.
Cool. Let's do that.
Intimidation
You
was
wanna
the
assist?
Okay, so you're doing an intimidation. Okay, I'll put in some stuff that will help
that's
that.
what I mean. Yeah. Coercion?
coercion, which is a social check.
Because I got a willpower of 4.
Can I suggest that words that you use are under the protection of our colleague Khalid?
Yeah, we could use that.
As Khalid,
And
as Khalid
looks
gets
menacing.
really big and bulky.
I mean, it does help that I am the muscly one.
You're the buff one?
I'm the buff one, and then Carlos, like the
I'm the second buff one.
super deadly, intimidating one. Yeah.
Yeah. The difference is Khalid looks a lot more like a motor hobo than you.
Yeah, I look a little bit more official.
Okay.
You look like you'd fill out paperwork after you killed me.
Well, plus
Sounds
I've also
accurate.
got the intimidation ability as well.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
we'll have.
So what does your intimidating ability give you, Ross?
I suffer strain to downgrade coercion checks or upgrade difficulty when targeted by coercion checks.
Mm-hmm. So you get Khalid to do the intimidating?
Yes.
So what is your coercion, Ross?
Can you bring up what?
Yes, one of the dice pool.
Yeah.
Typicals, here we go. Coercion, I've got 1 skill in it.
Mm-hmm. Whatever your party has at least 4 dice in it.
Yep.
So it would have been a purple and a red, but you downgrade it to a purple if you take 1 strain.
Yep.
Which generally recovers at the end of the scene anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why I haven't been keeping track of all of it. Okay, so yes, that they do feel very intimidated by you with your 2 successes.
Cool.
2 next successes, that is.
Yeah.
So you get, he succeeds and succeeds with 2 next successes.
So that's good. Yeah, mainly I wanted, like, thankfully I had Carla there. I mainly wanted to intimidate them so that they don't try to incite a riot of any kind or try to use the other species on the ship to their benefit.
Or steal the ship from under you.
That too.
Mandalorians are very good at doing that.
Or try to escape.
Yes, trying to avoid that. I mean, even though they are Mandalorian, they are rival clan, and I don't want them to try anything.
Funny, it's spelled the same way as escape.
Whoa, crazy. Okay. With that, I'm gonna maybe go over to Thea and ask her to ask the Wookiee,
Do you want ancient?
how they were captured and any information they may have about.
And a further way to intimidate, I have the big red button. I can kill them.
Oh, the Mandalorian.
Yes.
I can
Does
kill
that
them. I can kill everyone.
I know. Just
Yeah.
Oh, look! Oh, I almost missed.
We gave the Jawa power.
Well, the Jawa technically bought him, so even though you helped him, you got it reduced. It was eBay's purchase.
Yeah.
Just forgetting the Jawa power over people's lives. That's a bad time.
So fair.
Considering the name of his current TV show, I think the big red button is entirely appropriate.
It's all fun and games until someone loses their head.
It'd be nice though, and this is just me as a player, if we could remove the Wookiee from that tablet and that option. But that's something that we can come to later. Whether or not that's something, it'll happen eventually.
So you push the delete head button.
No. I introduced myself to the Wookiee and asked the Wookiee for his name.
Sure, that's
why I said I want to hear this.
Hey Martin, when I did my ceremony, did I get a certain, like, any sort of badge or tattoo, or just got anything that would identify me as part of a Wookiee clan?
You probably did before your body got scarred all over.
Okay, good point. I won't say anymore. I'll go back to be quiet.
You got to pull out your tattoo and going, well, that sucks.
What happened with the tattoos?
That he got scarred all over when you got burnt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he had laser surgery.
That sounds bad.
That's what it was.
Does someone want to give a Wookiee name or use a Wookiee name in
Marv.
What do we call it? Marv?
Marv.
There you go.
M-A-R-V.
Yep.
So he calls himself Marvelous.
Do I know the name of your clan, Jed? Do you know the name of your clan?
A lot went on that night. I can't remember everything.
Can we presume for the sake of expediency that I know the name of the clan? So I introduce Marv to Jed and explain Jed's clan and relationship with Wookiees.
Marv does say he's a little short for a Wookiee.
Yeah. I'll make a very light-hearted and affectionate joke about height and Jed, but in a way that Jed knows that we're not making fun of him. I'm just trying to release any tension. And then I introduce Marv to Kayana, and then the rest of the group after that. And then I ask Marv how he came to be captured.
Well, he was captured with a bunch of other Wookiees trying to escape the sector by Mandalorians.
Death Watch?
Doesn't really notice what they were. Not a big historian on Mandalorian.
I warn Marv that we have said Mandalorians that we've I don't want to say rescued, but we have we've got a number of people out of the slave things because our droid and our Jawa were able to swing us being able to acquire all of them. And please don't kill them if you do encounter them by accident on the ship, but just call one of us to intervene rather than there be deaths or fights or.
Well, he's very good at being disarmed.
Well, actually, I'm thinking about B1 here, and he might need a reward for all this goodness that he. No, I'm kidding. Alright. So.
He's also trained in medicine, so he can make sure they live.
How many other Wookiees were caught with you, and do you know what happened to them?
There was about 20 of us caught, and last thing he remembers was trying to escape and getting shot in the back of the head.
Okay, so no idea. Were they? Did you know all the other Wookiees that you were with? Were they family? Were they strangers?
Mostly family, but a lot of broken families.
Did you ever come across one called Stumpy?
Yes, apparently someone kept calling him Warren.
Yes. What was the last interaction or anything that you had with Stumpy?
Stumpy was heading off with some sort of human he trusted.
I described Saul.
He says, no, I think it was female.
Oh, okay. Alright. Would that have been Jed then, maybe?
Yeah.
No, that was my other thought. Did you have any other questions? More specific ones that you wanted to ask?
No, I'm just trying to find any evidence that we can use against that other company. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get punished. No, maybe just like.
I'm sure B1 could say you could just make up the crimes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure with B1 skills we could just make up crimes and just, I don't know, send some coinites in to
the
pretend
simplest
to be
one is
prisoners.
treason against the Empire.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, sedition.
Yeah. Look,
You know who we don't like on this ship?
Death Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I can use
I
that.
was trying to be a better person, but to be honest.
I'm thinking, like, Kesley, I would
Look,
like to be a good
the
person.
Mandalorian-
Kayana absolutely would do this.
If you're thinking along the Mandalorian way, if they're good enough to survive, then putting them in there is challenging them to uphold
I'm giving
the
them the
Mandalorian
opportunity
way.
to prove themselves.
Exactly.
That's what I'm doing.
Exactly. So technically we're not being
So
bad
that
people.
they can regain their honor.
Think like B1.
B1 approves of your plan.
You guys are finally. You're finally starting to think like B1. Well done.
His plan is
Right.
B1 approved. Think.
Yes.
So you're making the ship into a Thunderdome.
Well, no, technically
Well, hold on.
actually we were doing that on Derilyn.
I'm asking only because we're missing this one. What language does the Taos speak?
You don't know. We've never spoken it.
Just on the off
It doesn't
chance,
sound like Wookiee.
I asked the Wookiee if they know Taos.
He shrugs and says, hasn't gone into that primitive language.
Okay. Would any of our would B1 have any kind of translators that could analyze whatever sounds the what's it called again?
No.
Taos. Whatever. No.
No.
Don't even
Languages is not something B1 does.
Okay.
Because that's a protocol droid's job, right? Yeah.
Not until he eats the protocol droid.
But I thought you've eaten a protocol droid.
Would Betty know?
I'm having.
No, I don't think I have.
Betty might.
I was gonna say maybe we can ask Betty.
Yeah, I'm like, what about Betty? Is she with us?
She's on the ship, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I'm about to learn as well. I'm about to go into a speechy spot. Martin, just quickly, my plan while we're down there is to fix the dumbass Mandalorians, then ask them for an oil bath and a cleaning because he's covered in blood, and during which time he's going to start talking to them and chatting with them and gossiping, and then trying to get the information of where the other Mandalorians were sent.
So the Fortnights, I think.
Yeah, the coinites that are in the hospital, they're trying to get information on the other
Mandalorians.
6 Mandalorians.
Yep.
So, cool.
Okay, B1 is
Point.
able to report to you that the other 6 Mandalorians were sent to Derilyn,
Oh, well, there you go.
and that they were of a disgraced clan, such
sounds
that
like
the
us.
Empire doesn't care what happens to them. So existing is a crime as far as the Empire is concerned.
Yeah.
Doesn't say which one though, because
I was gonna say there's a few. We're one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And he says one last thing before he goes to exit. Why do you guys like me so much and not the Wookiee, the Ewok, the Jawa, goddamn the
Through
Jawa.
all the tiny races.
Putting you a thick cloak.
says Guri has put in a good word for you.
Oh,
Uri.
I don't know what that is.
So she's like one of the head people at, is it XTS?
XTS, yes.
Yeah.
The person you really liked at XTS who gave you
Yeah.
compliments.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh.
And gave you upgrades and you signed up to work for.
Ah. Wait, so you're friends with Gory?
Yes, she put you down as important person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was unlucky for someone. Alright. Thanks, guys.
Looking for the coin knights, maybe.
Okay, so yes.
B1 sends a message to Jed. Send the Mandalorians in to kill them all.
I guess he means us.
No.
Death Watch?
Yeah.
Ah, alright, okay. Aren't we using Death Watch though to get into Derilyn?
Yes.
Okay. That's what B1 told Jed.
Okay, alright.
What does Jed do?
So Jed's been told to go. Okay.
Jed's been told to send the Mandalorians in to kill them all. Was the exact quote of what he was said.
So, no specification of which Mandalorians?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Or which all.
Or who? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused by that because I want a little bit more information than just sending to random shit.
B1 sees Jed pause like an idiot for a second and says, the Death Watch and the Slavers.
Oh, okay. And
Can Jed do that?
If Jed asks.
Okay.
Yeah, you're actually going to broadcast this because I do know
Because
a problem with that plan.
There is a slight problem with the Terrinoth explosives.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all,
You
they'll
just
be
remove that
exploded
first
before they can
before
kill
you
anyone.
send the Death Watch in.
I've got the control for it.
But they've
Yeah.
also got an
They have
But
override.
they've got it as well, so,
Right.
you know.
So if you ever lose control or you wind up dead and your slaves have somehow taken over, they just push the button.
Right, okay.
Yep.
So unless we learn how to
subscribe all over
disconnect the
again.
button first. Yes,
So,
we
okay,
may
so-
want to figure out how to disconnect it anyway. Particularly in the case of the Coinites and the Wookiee.
Go, Mark.
So I know that there's explosives around every single Death Watch Mandalorian, is that right?
No, it's not around. It's in their skull. Is an explosive that will remove their head if it's triggered.
All the slaves got it.
And I'm just wondering, and this is me, because I'm just listening to it, I'm going, why are we killing the Death Watch Mandalorians? Is there any reason why we're doing it? Or I'm trying to work out where B1's thing is for this, that's all. But
Rival clan and hated slavers.
oh, okay.
He's thinking
Okay.
two birds, one stone situation.
And you can completely ignore B1. It's just that's what he would like to do.
Consider we're on the same sort of angle at the moment with stuff. Okay, where's a dice? I need a dice. Somebody roll me a dice.
What do you want?
A D20, yeah.
You get a threat on a triple dice.
So what does that mean?
He said roll a dice.
On a D20, you have an 8. I suck at rolling today.
Okay. 8 was to go with B1. Okay.
Leslie, you actually rolled really well because B1 was going to go nuclear because he hates slavery.
Next time, Mark, you may as well just suggest we roll the force dice and see if you're going light or dark.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually really good.
Yeah, that's a very good idea, right? Yeah.
B1, would a shot from a ion blaster or whatever deactivate the explosive, or would it set it off?
I can probably just operate on them and remove the explosive.
Well, we might want to do that before we send anyone anywhere.
He could, but he'd first have to deactivate it and hack into it, deactivate it, then remove it.
Yeah. I'd say that we need to do that at least on the people we want to live.
And you think it'd take you probably a day per person?
Yeah.
What about if he just hacks it and deactivates it?
By the way, B1 organises transport for the wounded idiots too.
I assumed that, and that they're on their way. So if you deactivate it, it will reactivate after a certain amount of time.
So it's like the antiviruses. Okay.
It's an anti-tamper device that if it doesn't believe it's been given the correct command, it will detonate.
Oh, lovely. So as soon as you deactivate it, you have to remove it.
You'd have a certain amount of time to do so in the matter of, say, minutes.
Oh, lovely.
Well, they're not designed to be removed. Go, David, before you disappear completely.
Message to Jen and no one else.
Okay, yeah, send message to Jed again and no one else.
Yeah, no, so that message that he sent was for Jed and no one else.
Yep. So what does Jed do that you've now gotten this private message?
I'll think about it for a bit. You go, even after I've got the names, I go, well, yeah, I'm probably going to do it.
Okay, you get to the you get to the section where they're housed, and currently there's a Coinite standing guard looking at you.
Well, I've got a sneaking suspicion this is going to be a scene out of Kingsman.
Yeah. Excellent reference. Excellent reference.
Okay, I thought that we didn't have a... Yeah, okay. We've got a guardsman, there's different.
Yeah, I absolutely put a guard on them. And yeah, I'm going to use the coordinates as... Like, we hired them, might as well use them. So.
Well, they are known for their brutality.
Exactly.
Okay.
B1 sends another message. No, wait till I get there.
Okay. I'll just start a conversation.
Nice day, isn't it?
His hand hovers near his knife. You think he's more interested in stabbing you than talking?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll step back then. Yeah.
Because if you actually touched his knife, he would be required to draw it and kill you.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
And the outfire stops flickering in the corridor.
I would say even though your eyeballs are only visual, somehow the meow virus is still coming through.
Yeah.
In some sort of auditory version. Even though that's not how the eyes
No,
work.
it just uses the eye as a relay to pass through to the ship's internal computers, and the hallway itself starts meow virusing.
There you go.
And then he sees the word meow appear across his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
What's that, Terrinoth?
Yes, you've got everyone on board. And you've been given clearance to leave.
Okay. So everybody's on board. Clearance to leave. Wait, what did I say?
Whoa, hang on. What do you mean leave? When are we going to kill the slavers?
We can't just kill slavers.
Why?
Because that's not in line with the rules. We operate on official capacity. We can't just kill slavers when everything they're doing here is completely legal. I need actual means of apprehending them.
Seriously, in your ranger, make some. I heard one of them kick a dog once.
So that is
Be
not
one
how
so
it
angry he keeps cutting in and out.
Exactly.
We're not leaving, are we? We're staying here for the moment.
Hold on. Just chill. We're not doing anything right now. Oh, that wasn't directed towards you. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
But no, we're chilling here until we figure out what to do as a group. We'll talk. My thoughts are, well, I mean, they're technically eBay's slaves, so it's up to eBay what he wants to do. But I would suggest that we give the coinite to their kinsmen.
We would probably want to retain the Cornite mercenaries, though, to help us with infiltrating Derilyn and getting their Mandalorians.
Yeah, so it's up to them if they want them to be recruited or if they want them returned to coin.
Yeah.
If anyone looks at eBay and says, "So, you own slaves, do you?"
They're contestants on the on season 2.
Who wants to lose their head? Season 2.
I would suggest you rephrase that sentence very carefully.
Someone else could rolling die and even
I'm thinking we could possibly have the pirate human captains, or pilots. We need potentially extra ships to transport many Mandalorians. They are pirates. They can help with piloting ships. That's a possibility, depending on what you guys think.
I think we should free every single one of them and let them make their own decisions as to what they want to do.
Well, yeah, no, I would offer them that, but that would be my offer of what they can do in return.
Of course, if you free them in space on the way to Derilyn, there's not a lot of options at that stage.
I would do it's for them a friendly freeing and friendly offer that they are allowed to refuse. The Wookiee, again, I will leave that up to. I would leave that up to Jed and
You are
Dale
going
to figure out
past.
what they would like.
You are going to Terrinoth first before you can continue on to Derilyn, so you can't offload anyone there.
Yeah, we can upload anybody on Terrinoth. And then I think before we even start anything, we need to try to get Betty so that we can talk to the Taos to figure out what the Taos would like. And so I can question the Taos and ask them how we can help them, I guess. And then, of course, Death Watch is going to be our bait to get onto Derilyn. If you guys
You're gonna give them a choice, right?
their choice is to regain their honor.
So Derilyn or
You're gonna give them the choice after they're released as slaves, right?
Death Watch or Ayla? Derilyn or Ayla?
I'm trying to think what I would do. They can be released as slaves, but they'll have the splody head boom thing, so that I can guarantee.
I'll remove it.
No, so that I can guarantee the safety of our party. I would think even B1 would recognize them as a threat to our clan.
I'd rather kill them than keep them as slaves.
I'm not trying to keep them as slaves. I'm trying to keep them as
Behind chips.
Slaves.
as bargaining chips, as captured. What's the
They're not slaves, they're prisoners.
Captured prisoners of the what are we? Sector Rangers.
One of you bought slaves, and I was involved in that.
No, what we did was we acquired prisoners that were slaves.
Technicality, you bought slaves. You paid money for them, you bought slaves.
By the end of this plan, there will be no
It's
more
probably
slaves.
not.
And people will be free of slavery. In one way or another.
Does that
Okay, what about paying for ransom then?
Paying for ransom from who?
What?
What?
You could charge the members of Death Watch to the clan Vizsla for payment to return.
We could do that too. If they survive.
But they're not
I'm not trying to harm them in any way, and I'm not trying to make them dead. Just
What if we charged them?
What are you guys called?
What was that, David?
What are the warrior guys called? Not the
Coinites.
the ones that we. Sorry, I forgot that. What about the Coinites? Do I get to free them?
They can be free.
They're already freed within their own
They need their chip taken out. But yeah, those guys can be free. All of them can be free.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
the Wookiee and the other thing.
I need to talk to the other thing first. The Wookiee can be free if that's okay with. I'm sure that's 100% okay with Hyper and Saya can translate.
eBay.
B1 looks to Daya and says. B1 looks to Daya and says, "Translate this for me to the Wookiee." And B1 passes on a message of, "There is a risk in removing the explosive in your head. However, I am willing to do it, and you will be first."
I relay that to Marv.
Marvelous is happy to be the first attempt of removal, because if it goes wrong, at least, well, his pain in his head will stop.
B1 holds out his hand to Ebaya and gestures for the data pad.
There it is.
Congratulations, B1 is now the owner of a bunch of slaves.
B1 takes the data slate back to the computer lab and starts doing some investigation. Splicing, and he's going to see if he can access any other inactive slave tags that could potentially be in the facility.
Okay, so while you're looking through it, you notice that there it's only had the ones uploaded to it that had been bought. So it doesn't have any other information. It was a new data pad and didn't have any previous information.
Instead of being a data
Yep, no dramas. Still have to try.
But it also does have anti-tamper software on there. That if someone tries to override the control of the pad, or the slaves get too far away from the pad, it can auto-detonate some of those explosives.
Okay, is there a protocol within the program to remove an explosive?
There is.
Alright,
It recommends showing up to the Thifarian homeworld and paying a service fee.
You can pay the service fee from here.
Well, they then remove the explosive on the homeworld.
Okay, right.
So basically,
B1 does some investigation to see whether it is possible for him to deactivate the device and surgically remove it, if he believes it's possible.
let me give you a roll to see how possible that is.
Sure.
That's a fun roll.
Computing, medical, splicing, or mechanics. All of the above.
I believe it is going to be successful. Let's see how well I relay it. Well, I thought it was going to be successful.
No.
I would like to clarify that I was investigating to see whether it would be possible.
Okay, you're not sure if it's possible? You think you'd have to experiment?
What skills do you need for that?
B1 looks B1 pulls fire over for a
I'm
second.
just curious.
You're getting pulled over for a second.
Oh, right, sorry. Yep.
And B1 says to Marv, I give it a 50-50 chance.
Marv is willing to take the chance, even if it was 10% chance of survival.
Righto! To the observatory, or the surgitorium.
Just a quick question. How far away is this planet where we pay this fee?
Probably it's outside the range of where our sector ranges. You have authority.
Okay, alright. I just wanted to check that first, because if it was just like a day away, then I'm like, well, you know, why not? But okay, that's fair.
I was gonna say
It's
that's.
probably about a month's worth of travel.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
in the center.
That's
While Thayer was thinking about that, B1 and the Wookiee have already left towards the medical bay.
Okay, so
As she comes back, there's no one around her.
as it's a day procedure, you'll be still working on that while you're going through some of the other systems.
Yeah.
That's fine. Can I try to talk to the task with Betty, and if anybody else wants to?
Okay, so if the others can join you with Betty to talk to the Tals.
Yeah.
Betty translates for the Tals. It says it's a holy man who was arrested for preaching faith.
It just happened like that.
Technically harmless until not harmless.
Had visions of its need here.
So you said it is,
Even though no one can understand it.
There are protocol droids you can understand.
Oh, okay. Alright, yep.
And the Empire does use them.
Okay.
It was arrested at a checkpoint for blessing people.
Okay. Doesn't take much.
does the Empire allow religion? Because I know Jedi, like the Jedi way is technically a religion.
Yes
You
and
guys
no.
should probably just check in to see what is involved in blessing people first.
Okay.
It was basically charged with assault when it was blessing people.
Gotcha. So what is blessing?
From its person, it was spraying the person with sacred blood.
Oh.
Huh. That's a fun time. So, I'll ask him, what system was he arrested on and who was he arrested by?
He was arrested by some black hooded person.
On Mercy?
No, on he was, which one was it? He was on Korad.
Black hooded person arrested. Because the black hooded people here are obviously different. So we're talking like Jedi, robes, hoods, or we're talking like heavy breathing, broken ventilator?
Unsure, it doesn't quite
No.
describe things that well. Because Betty does say he speaks more in descriptors than words.
Gotcha.
These people are all about how you feel about something than what it's called.
Just because I just feel the need, I asked Betty to translate. Did the guy sound like this? Just out of curiosity. Just because it'd be fun.
He thinks for a moment, makes a few strange sounds, and Betty goes, "No, don't think he had a breath mask."
No, that was just amusing for me.
But he did describe a circular object on his back.
Circular object on its back. So a brother or a sister.
Right, one of the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Do we actually know about them?
You
we
have met
met
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
we met a third brother or a fifth brother. I think a third brother. And
And just remember, absolutely no consequences whatsoever.
there was no Ahsoka Tano taking him out at all.
Totally not that. We didn't see anything.
Technically, no, we didn't.
Okay, so we believe it was likely an Inquisitor that had captured this person.
Time frame puts it at the Inquisitor who came through to where you guys are.
So it was likely that third brother.
Yeah.
Who I'm sure by this point has been replaced. So it was likely that third brother that had captured this person. Okay, I'll ask the Taos. Would he like to be dropped off at Terrinoth to be free?
He shakes his head, and Betty says he had visions he was supposed to help a wing,
A wing. Like
a
a
space wing. He says.
Star Wing? As in us. We got a new friend!
Yay, friend. I'll ask
New
Betty, is there a
Yeah, contestant
name
after all.
he would like to go by?
Ghost Dancer, he calls himself.
That's a cool name.
It is. Now everyone wants to be his friend.
Now I want to be his friend for sure.
Because he dances with
Ghosts.
ghosts.
Okay, so he's not super good with computers.
Unfortunately, no.
And he doesn't disappear and stab people from behind.
Yeah.
The other form of ghost.
Ghost Dance was a cool name.
I should have used your Ghostbusters mug for you today.
And
Okay.
he does tell a tale of meeting an old woman and a description of her does match Piper's grandmother.
Grandmother, yeah. Does Piper Jed ask any questions about this sighting? Okay, knowing everything I know about Piper Jed.
I was gonna
Mark
say.
is on mute, so Mark might be saying something and not actually getting through.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Still no response. Might be AFK.
I'll knowing the history that I do know between Jed and his grandmother and that, ask for more information.
But he does point out that it's only met her in visions.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I was gonna say, we know at this point Piper's grandmother is passed, right?
They don't know if she's passed.
Oh,
Do you think she
we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened. Okay. But like,
She's reported dead.
reported dead, but like,
Could be alive.
knowing the secrets that we know about Piper.
False ghost! No, I didn't say that.
I was gonna say. We as Mandalorians don't necessarily know that, but we just know that
But
she
Piper-
we know that she has some special.
You'd particularly know with Piper that the
Yeah,
alcohol
that's
had a purpose.
Yes,
A special alcohol.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So he's getting visit. So I'll say, well, all right, Ghost Dancer. What we might do, what we will do, if you are comfortable with it, we can have the device that is inserted removed if you consent to that, and then you can assist us with.
He had you the device.
Anyone wants to have a conversation with the towels.
Towels.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I will safely put that down. And I'll say, then as long as he is with us, he will be under our protection, and that he is free to leave at any point he feels necessary. So I'll just thank him for coming along. So yay, we have a new friend with a cool name.
And he walks into Carla's room and uses that book.
Aren't there several bunks in that room, right? Yeah. Okay. Khaled feels a bit.
Yeah, how does Kyler feel about that?
There's spare beds in there, so I'm not too fussed.
I can just see Martin thinking over whether or not he's going to say Ghost Dancer takes Khaled's bed in particular. And he's kind of like,
More than one
no.
bed.
It's a bunk bed. We don't really have assigned to us. Basically, it's whoever goes in there first gets the first bed.
If you're like me, you find one and you mush it into the most comfy mush for your body. And then when someone else takes it, you have to re-mush it and you it's more work.
And you normally leave your stuff there.
Yeah. So, you know. You watch next episode or next game, I'll lose my bunk.
And so you start heading on to Derilyn now that you have your cargo. And by the time you reach there, we'll find out if B1 has succeeded in removing the explosive.
Yep. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we
Do we know actually how bad the explosive is?
It's enough to remove the head from the body.
Okay, so it's not enough to like blow a hole in the ship.
Not unless they all go off at the same time in the one spot.
Yeah.
Which would be
Yes,
interesting.
I was just more worried that they might have stuck like a thermal detonator in there.
Unlikely, because they wouldn't want to risk themselves.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
eBay would want footage of that for a show, but by the same token, I'd be happy to do that with splatter effects instead of real people.
You can get away with CG in a lot of things these days.
Well, for the next game, we need eBay to be working on his big red button to replace his data pad button.
Look, I've jury-rigged it so I can push the button and still detonate it all.
In a way, that would be funny if eBay managed to do that, because B1 would want to kill him so bad, but at the same time, might be impressed.
Alright, cool. So I have written down our next action is
Cool.
we're heading to Derilyn to use Death Watch as the quote-unquote prisoners, and we have the now 20... Oh, no, we are up to 30, the other 4 were transported. So 30 Coinites, 3 humans, Ghost Dancer, and Marv as our backup. That's if
Hey, Emma.
Marv wants to.
Yes,
Yes,
David?
go ahead.
Emma, it may surprise you to know the B1 would actually be okay with you killing them.
Yeah,
He just doesn't want them kept as slaves.
that's what I was saying. I think that you would want to know how the hell he did it if he managed to do it.
As in, it might help you get out the detonators.
Yeah, that'll be alright.
Like, it'd be one of those things where you'd be kind of like, that's foiled my plans to a degree, but actually I want to know how to do that type thing. I know already from your previous comments you'd be happy killing everybody, you just don't want them as slaves.
Yes.
So next session we'll have you arriving in Derilyn and finding out what's happening there.
Cool. Yep. They will volunteer for B1 to experiment on them.
Also, my apologies. I know B1 was a little bit abrasive in this one. It was even annoying me at some points too.
Oh, no.
Well, it
you're
was
all
dealing
good.
with slavery, which is something the character's against.
Your
Exactly.
characterizations are always
On point.
on point, yeah. It's a perfect description.
Yep.
Which is why it was amusing that you had VIP treatment when you walked in. So
Yeah.
I'm going to murder these. They're treating me well. I really want to murder these guys that are treating me well.
Oh, damn. Yeah. See, me as a player is like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. But B1 was like, yeah, let's burn this whole place to the ground, them inside.
Absolutely.
But for the
Sorry,
fact that they
guys,
could just be exploded before they could do any damage, it was an idea that even Thea would support, you know. Thea was even having these visions of stealthing out there. That's why when you guys are like, we're leaving, I'm like, please, can we at least stay the night here? Because I just want to entertain this fantasy, even if it's impossible for me to carry it out, of stealthing out there with detonators and just blowing the whole lot down. But, you know, like, you're all like, we'll move on to Derilyn. You're like, no, can we just stay here just one night?
No, Kayana would insist, like, this is part of our duty. We couldn't find any actual evidence to move on these slayers,
Yeah.
even though we have intel, we don't have any evidence.
Segue to the start of next game for Thea's not an issue.
And what was Mark trying to say?
Sorry, I just had to rest on my chair before. I was sitting down too long on this computer chair, so
Yeah.
It's okay.
sorry about that.
That's why
I might have
I said
missed a bit.
I said you were away from keyboard.
Yep, that's okay. Thank you, Martin.
Okay, so we'll finish up there for tonight. And next session we'll pick up what happens when you reach Derilyn.
Also, if Ross and Marco, I know you might not be able to, but if you are able to, I have very small tokens of our appreciation to the gamers to pass out at the next set of games if you guys are able to
Okay, cool.
come. If you can't come, obviously you can't come, but if you can.
It's just that I was coming straight from work.
Yeah, no. As I said, look, absolutely understand, and we'll get those to you eventually.
Yep.
We will. Now, I'm going to go to end credits, so if you want to stay around, you're welcome to.